Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Bros Who Think Podcast. My name is Leonard Burton, a.k.a. Youngboy D-Wits, a.k.a. the People's Champ, a.k.a. Beard Gang, Icy Main. Icy Main is in the motherfucking building. This is episode 161. I am joined by my co-host, as always, Mr. Doom. Avocado Doom is in the building, even though we don't have soft takes coming today. But see, I think there's three Dooms. There's soft take Doom, which is Avocado Doom. There's Do-Rag Doom, which is hardcore Doom. Then there's Chain Doom, where we got Cross Ice Out Doom, and he part of Icy Main, Icy Gang, where we gonna still get hard takes, but it's on some icy shit.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think we gonna have a good show this week because they got some shit to get to.
We got a lot of shit to get to, but before all of that, before I introduce you and everything, I want to say we got two guests coming on the pod this week. We have Joe Hudson, a.k.a. Baby Joe, a.k.a. DeSean, to come talk about his new album, Deuce's Uncle, one of the best R&B albums I heard this year. And the crazy thing is he dropped one at the beginning of 2020. Then he just gave us another one. This nigga is going for DMX, Future, multiple albums in a year. And I think we might have a third, which we talk about later in the show. Also, it was on my heart weighing heavy about all the shit that happened to Lake Charles, and I wanted to try to help in some way or fashion. So I brought on my homegirl, Bre Rob, who is being an activist for her community right now, getting people to donate, talking on ABC News to inform people about Lake Charles, because Lake Charles not getting the media coverage that normal Louisiana cities during hurricanes get. This hurricane was almost as bad as Katrina, would have been worse than Katrina if the surge hit. It's still super bad, and she comes in and talks about how you can help. Be sure in the description below, look at all the links to places you can donate, because Lake Charles needs our help. And here at the Bros Who Think community, we use our platform to uplift. We're for the culture, by the culture, for the preservations and progression of said culture. And for preservation and progression, we need your help because we're all a family. But Doom, my brother, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Another day, bro.
Yeah, another day, another dollar. Shit is wild out in these streets. So what I wanted to start off the show was, because you didn't watch it, I didn't watch it. I found out the day it happened that this was going on. Bro, why are the VMAs still a thing? I think this is a conversation to where I want to ask you, do award shows matter? And I'm gonna give you my take. The only award shows to me that matter are the Oscars, the Emmys, and to a certain extent the Grammys. But I care about the Oscars and Emmys more than the Grammys, just from an art perspective. I'm a content creator. I eventually want to write movies. I eventually want to write TV. And I think that I would love to get an Emmy or an Oscar. Back when I was making music, I felt the same way about the Grammys. But to me, everything like the BET Awards, the VMA Awards, the MTV Movie Awards, all that shit when we was kids, that was fire. Them shit's not fire no more.
Right. And I think we kind of had this conversation before, but I think the reason is that there used to only be these select platforms that we kind of look to, because that was the only way to consume what was happening, you know what I mean? But with the internet now, bro, everybody know, like, the timeline is the voice, you know what I mean? If you can't, and the award shows don't fuck with you, what good is the award show? You know what I mean?
Also, the award shows were a way for us to see the celebrities, and now everybody got an Instagram. So it's like you would watch the award show to see, like, oh, Beyonce's performing. I'll never get to see Beyonce in concert, but I get to see her at this award show, because concerts used to be way more expensive. These celebrities used to be way less approachable. And now with the internet, we see these Negroes all the time. We get too much of them.
Yeah, honestly. Because it kind of, and I was just talking about this with somebody else, the internet kind of took away the fucking allure of celebrities, bro.
Yeah, took away the mystique and the allure of them.
Yeah, because, like, I saw this video, somebody posted on Twitter. It was this guy in, like, the 80s. He saw Michael Jackson in concert in person, and Michael Jackson went down, like, from the stage down to where the crowd was. And this nigga just couldn't take being that close to Michael Jackson. He just passed out, bro. Nigga just was gone. And I'm just like, niggas don't even do that with celebrities no more because we see these niggas.
We
on
would
live all
laugh,
day.
bro. We would on
them.
Twitter if someone passed out because Travis Scott walked by. We'd be like, "Look, what is this clown ass doing?"
Yeah, for real. And that shit crazy. I think that's the reason. Like, I don't even think award shows is necessary no more. Because it used to be kind of like a little political thing where, you get the right relationships with a label or with a promotion company, and we'll get you in on this slot in the Grammys.
And we'll give you like this like promo, like this commercial. For example, like Yachty got the Burger King commercial, and then he did a Burger King performance at the VMAs to make some money.
Right. And I mean, nowadays, bro, you could do that shit on
IG.
Bro.
Yeah.
You do that shit like right from the timeline. You don't even need that kind of shit. And plus, niggas don't care who the Grammys think is the best. You know what I mean? Niggas don't think who the VMAs think is the best.
Definitely the VMAs. See, I feel like I agree with you about the Grammys, but I still think to a certain extent. But see, the Grammys put themselves in this corner because they don't give by merit and like what's actually real. They judge off of politics. And granted, the Oscars may do that too, but the Oscars and Emmys feel more, it's like, okay, these are the best TV shows and movies. Yeah, the Oscars mess up sometimes, but the allure of the Oscars and the Emmys is still real. Whereas the Grammys, when you give Macklemore Album of the Year over Good Kid, Mad City, you lose all credibility at that point. The Oscars hasn't done anything that egregious.
Right. And I think it's different with the Oscars because movies is different type of art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's still objective, but it's way less objective than music. You know what I mean?
Because you can tangibly see if a movie's good or bad.
Right. And plus, like, there's people like, I mean, I'm not sure on the exact terms and shit, but I'm sure, like, if you spoke to directors and producers, they would say that
film critics,
right. There's movies just need to be structured in a certain way to be good. Whereas like music, you can have people, and there's like 100 of them nowadays where there's like certain artists that you hear in the first listen and you like, man, this ain't really that good. I don't think this guy's really extremely talented. But I can have that opinion, and then the next person will think that that's the best shit they ever heard.
Yeah,
it don't really happen like that with movies. You know,
and I agree with you 2,000%. The most you'll see, like for the majority, if a movie's bad, most people can acknowledge that movie's bad. Right. Granted, you'll have some people who are like contrarians who are like, "Oh no, this is my movie, this is my shit." But for the most part, you know when television and movies are bad. Music, it's so like, for example, we'll use Uzi again. Me and you could not stand Eternal or Take, but if you talk to Chris and Fade, it's like, that's the best shit smoking.
Right.
So it's music's more subjective.
Yeah. And what's crazy is, even though like I'll debate with Chris all day about that shit, but I still know in the back of my mind that like his opinion isn't any less valid than mine.
You know what I mean? For
it's just all about that to me, that's only with music where you could do that. And maybe some shit like legit art, like niggas that paint and shit.
Yeah, and drawings and that type of shit.
Movies, bro, I feel like you got to reach a certain tier to even be in the ballpark. Yeah. Like, you're not even going to be nominated if your shit is just...
Like, we know for a fact, there's no reason the Avengers should be nominated for an Oscar, whereas Dark Knight, you could tell that's some Oscar-level shit.
And I mean, not even that, because I'm saying... You got to realize there's a lot of these like SoundCloud dudes that legit, they made this shit on a free audio editing program, and now they number one. Like,
where you can't have that with movies.
It's not, it's not no nigga getting nominated from Grammys with an iPhone and iMovie.
Unless the iPhone movie is like the most revolutionary, it's got to be like the most revolutionary shit. Yeah,
you got to do some crazy shit. But I'm saying there's a very slim chance that if you just working with your iPhone camera and iMovie, you're not even in the conversation. But
you barely getting YouTube views.
Right. It's not like that with music. There's niggas legit in the closet on fucking the free editing program,
Fruity Loops,
like making it on SoundCloud, bro.
That's a fact. No,
it's two different things. But I do think that the VMAs need to be
over with. Yeah, it's done. And I don't even think they should come in like some internet capability, like some like before. I know when we talked about this early, when with the last award show, when you first was coming on here, we was like, oh, it could be like an internet streaming service thing. Like, nah, bro, we don't even need that shit at all. Like, unless like it would have to be something with Twitter. I don't need. No, I take that back. We don't need none of that shit because, like you said, by the time those things happen, we already have our idea on everything. And music videos, to a certain extent, are kind of dead. Like, if you put out a cool music video, then you move the needle. But for the most part, music videos are kind of dead.
Yeah, I think they only work if you're like super top tier artist,
or if you're a new artist that does something super innovative.
Right. And I mean, it could go. I still think that people as a whole don't really care enough to want to
watch a music video.
But I think it is necessary in some capacity because it keep artists from being too complacent. Like, you gotta keep the creativity up. And
you can get to know an artist through his videos. You can get to know, like, that could maybe determine whether or not they're just some of your everyday average artists or it becomes your favorite artist.
Right.
So
honestly, I think which I think the VMAs will never switch the format. I was about to say if they change the format up, but I think there needs to maybe be, some outlet that does it from the voice of the people completely. Like, there's no way a record label can sway the decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
where people go vote on a poll and like you have fans like basically do like a Zoom call where fans come in and talk about it. That would be lit.
Be fire.
Yeah, that'd be fire. We're gonna have to talk about that off air. Let's not give these niggas no ideas because that is pretty lit. but I definitely agree with you because the format they have right now is just it's too much. But the next topic we got, since me and you are always talking OnlyFans, and when it's me and you, we got to stand up for the OnlyFans girls. Even though we shit on them and talk bad about them, we not going to let Bella Thorne just get away with what she did. So she finessed you nasty, dirty niggas for $2 million in a weekend for some bikini pics. Dude, what the hell is going on? And now she got OnlyFans changing their whole platform to where you can only get a $50 limit on sending shit and like certain content to where before they could send however much they wanted. This is hurting the sex workers. You dirty, nasty Negroes and white boys buying Bella Thorne's fucking bikini pics ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Bro, I'm going to just say this before we get to like the real shit, because I do have a serious take on this. But we can't just skip over the fact that nasty niggas is spending $200 on titty pics.
Not even titty pics, though. Bikini pics.
Well, I think the issue was that she insinuated it was going to be pics, like nude shit.
Yeah.
And then it ended up not being, which I'm cool with. If you able to
hustle,
finesse niggas, do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
But I think that's a growing problem because you got to realize I've been seeing a lot of girls getting it on OnlyFans. And don't twist my shit up. I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, we just getting you hustle. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm saying it's really a lot. So I look at that fact, and then you think there has to be a customer base for this shit for it to be thousands of girls posting, oh, I did.
I'm in the top percent. Yeah, like, bro, everybody is like in the top percent now. Like, you niggas just got money to blow.
Man, that mean that these niggas are pumping a lot of money into OnlyFans. And I'm saying, me personally, I could never, bro. I could never imagine getting to the point where I'm like, yo, I want to see this bitch naked so bad that I'm about to just drop $200.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for a picture, bro, that's wild.
Yeah, and I'm kind of upset at OnlyFans for putting I think in terms, but they never wanted to be the sex worker platform. So maybe these women who are doing it for the sex worker industry, for the porn industry, y'all need to leave and find a better platform that where y'all don't have to have a cap, because OnlyFans putting a cap on it, I'm upset that they did it, but I get why you do it. You do it so you don't get a Bella Thorne, but that also harms the 50 other women who are being legit with it. So it's like, you gotta maybe, and maybe this is asking too much of OnlyFans, but the celebrities who aren't following through with their words, you cut the process for them. You don't cut it for everybody else. You don't do it a clean swipe across the board. But maybe that's too much of how do you stop everybody? How do you make sure that Lily in Indiana is doing the right thing because she could be finessing too, but because she's not big enough, maybe they can't check for it. So it's like, how do you do it? So I get why they did it, but it's like either the women that are in that industry need to leave and go to like a Just for Fans or a Patreon or go to a different system than OnlyFans, because there has to be a way for them to continue to make their bag. It can't just be Bella Thorne fucking it up for everybody.
Right. And honestly, my thing is, if any female with OnlyFans is listening, take notes. Get your own subscription-based website, your platform.
Yeah.
Because
it's so simple. You can go to Squarespace and set that up easy.
Exactly. Like $10 a month for the domain name. And if you think about it, they got girls. I seen one post the other day. She created one in her first 3 days, $50,000.
Bro, literally,
you know what I mean?
One guy's subscription,
small investment.
Yeah, one guy's subscription could cover your entire website shit. Like if you charge $30 to enter to your website, because some women do that. But let's not even do that. Let's say you charge $10 entry. One person takes care of your domain name and site. And the next person takes care of paying for you having a marketplace. And then after that, everything's net positive.
Right. And especially like when you're talking about the ones that's making, 6 figures a year.
I'm not giving a percentage to OnlyFans.
And honestly, bro, that's like a lot of these women. Like ones that don't have a big following are making $50,000 to $80,000 in a year from just off OnlyFans. And I'm saying these are girls with like 5-6K followers. This is not nothing.
Shit, maybe even 1,000 followers. I've seen girls with like 500 followers getting like, to the bag.
I would say, bro, even if I don't know how much OnlyFans charge to take they cut, but even a 3% fee
ain't shit
of $100,000 is a lot of money, bro. Like,
no, it's a lot. It's ain't shit to OnlyFans. It's a lot of money for the women. Right. Like, you got to cut out that to make your percentage.
Like that's saying I'm gonna give.
Now OnlyFans would argue
$3,000 just to use their platform. That's crazy.
Now OnlyFans would argue that the marketplace for the women who have 500 to 1,000 followers who are making that 80,000 to 100,000 a year, they would argue that you only get that because of our marketplace.
Is that how it worked though? From my understanding, I don't think, and I never been on it, so I would have to talk to somebody.
I just know basically. Okay, so when you follow someone, after that, when you go to your home page, because one of my niggas got in and I saw there's a list of people who are like the account you follow, and it's not famous porn star bitches. It's just people that. For example, let's say you're following someone that's you like big titties. You're gonna see a list of big titties. Or if you like ass, you're gonna see a list of people. It's gonna be like it's gonna be based upon what you follow. So if you follow like movie pods, you're gonna see a bunch of movie podcasts.
Right. See, I didn't know that part. I didn't know that there was like an explore page, because the type of promo that I be seeing these girls on, like,
it's just them
doing all the work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of the
and I think that's a tiny percent anyway.
Yeah.
But you can find people based off of that.
Because the ones I see, like, they do it like they running a legitimate
business.
Like, it's a whole marketing shit that they be doing to get niggas to go to their OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, if I'm doing all that anyway, what the fuck I need the platform for?
And that's my thing. Like, if you have over 1,000, shit, if you even got if you got anywhere from 500 to plus, and in those 500, you can tangibly see through your analytics that the people who follow me are spending money with me, you need to do it yourself. You really do. Even if you have 500 followers, like I said, if you charge $10 a subscription, that covers your Squarespace for a month. Just one person.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I think they could make some really good money. It'd be
and look, if you need some business advice or a manager or a marketing team, me and Doom will take a cut.
That's a fact.
Y'all hit us up. We'll get you popping out in these streets. I know it nasty niggas like. I see these niggas on a daily and they disgust me.
These niggas are crazy, bro.
Nasty.
I literally can't understand it, bro. I'm a never, and I mean, I don't talk down on nobody that do whatever.
Yeah, whatever you float your butt. But like,
yeah, that's
that
you.
shit is y'all just simping.
$200 for a picture, that's never happened.
Fuck no, especially when there's things
never
like
happened,
Pornhub, Reddit.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
you can find. It's not like I can understand maybe, and this is a big maybe. If you could never see these women except on this one platform by paying for it, this is the only way you get any of their content ever. But the fact that there's millions on millions of videos for free, or if you go to Reddit, type in the girl's name, there's millions and millions of pictures for free. My nigga, beating your meat ain't that serious.
Like, so much of it that nigga, if you started on Pornhub today, it would take you 50 years to watch every video on that motherfucker.
I was about to say, what are you about to say? I thought you was about to say a year. I was like, Doom, you tripping. Yeah, 50 years is, yeah. And
like,
that's
I'm saying,
that's
it's a
maybe.
lot of free shit out there. A lot of free shit. But that's just me. And free shit that'll probably be better produced than what they post.
You're getting from OnlyFans. That is a fact. Unless now they got like some women who got full production crews, but yeah, no, I'm with you.
Because I do think a lot of it is the fact that they feel like these girls are normal. They can just hop on Twitter and talk to these
them,
women.
But that's not the case. I mean?
Like, yeah, once they start getting the bag, they just like a celebrity, bro.
But that's what they like. I think you're absolutely right. I think they like the idea of when I deal with her, I can talk to her in my messages, whereas on Pornhub, I have no contact with this woman. So it entices their fantasy. I think you're right about that. So, but
yeah, I don't know. Get your bag though, ladies.
Definitely do your thing, ladies. Yeah, get your own marketplace, get your own websites, leave OnlyFans, because fuck Bella Thorne for fucking y'all bag up. But let's get to some hip hop shit. Doom. So Kanye West did an interview with Nick Cannon. I want you to tell the people basically what it was about, what Kanye was talking about, and then let's discuss our thoughts on what was said.
All right. So I watched it, and it was pretty much, I thought it was going to be more of like an interview form type situation.
It was just Kanye rambling.
But it was like Nick and Ye, and you could tell, which I didn't really notice. Like, obviously they know each other, but I didn't know they had such a close relationship.
See, I don't know if that's so true, because Nick banged his wife. Like, are they, like, how is that? Is it real?
I don't know,
or is it? I don't know.
A lot of those shits, you never know for sure unless they just ever come out and straight say it.
Yeah.
But I can say that I can tell just from watching the interview, they had a comfortable relationship prior to that.
I could agree with that.
I don't know for how long or how strong, but they definitely know each other further than talking on a professional relationship type thing. Just because every time Ye is in an interview situation, it goes completely different than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Even with Charlamagne.
I was waiting for the moment where he gave something that you know how TMZ do, they'll try to paint him out to be, like this explosive, crazy nigga. But that moment never came in this interview. Like, they legit just had a back and forth.
It just seemed like they were just talking at their house.
Right. And he started out talking about like why he almost embraces being called crazy and all this stuff. And which I agree with a lot of the points, is that he was saying how if he ever sounds normal, then there's a problem. Because and honestly, when you think about it, it's kind of right, because there always has to be somebody in the culture that's trying to think of new ideas and new ways to push shit forward.
That's true.
And we can hope that there's some magical politician or something that come out of nowhere and actually cares about black people, but he was kind of insinuating that shit is not gonna happen. It gotta be us. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm trying to think of new ways, it might sound crazy to you, but that's only because you not trying to do shit about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I can agree with the point.
I agree with a lot of that.
I can agree with the point of it. Just though his actions don't necessarily align with the points. But the points are accurate.
Him him and Nick kind of spoke on that though. They were talking about how he feels like whenever you reach a certain level in the culture, people expect you to carry yourself in a certain way. They expect you to act like this or talk like that because you have a platform, because you've become a prominent figure. But what he was saying is, at the end of the day, I don't even want to be that. I'm
and look,
a regular nigga like you and the dude next to you.
I agree with that, but let me pose this to you. I'm not even, because I'll agree with that, because I don't think that just because you're a rapper or an athlete that you should be looked to as this figure that has to have this platform that talks or whatever. Not everybody wants that. Not everybody goes for that. If you put yourself in that position, like us, like what we're doing, you have to do that, because this is a platform you have to speak that way. But I think from everything he's saying, just from his words, him aligning with Trump doesn't make sense. That's all I'm like. Just from the points he makes in his words and his explanations, some of the things he aligned with doesn't make sense, because the people he's aligning with are against what he's saying. But I do agree that you can't be hog-tied down to just because you're black, you're supposed to vote Democrat. That's not what I'm saying. I don't agree with that at all. But I'm saying the things that he says he fights for, the people he aligns with don't align with the things he's fighting for.
Right. And I mean, I can definitely agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of it's a combination between, because I do agree, he talks like he's from a certain position.
Yeah, he talks like he's not at that money level he's at, but he does he talks like he's at a normal person level, but his actions are, I'm at a rich nigga level.
And I think that's his downfall. I think he doesn't know how to separate the fact that his reality is a whole lot different than
everybody else's.
Dude in the hood working minimum wage at, KFC trying to make a way. You know what I mean? Like, his experience is a complete 360 from that experience.
1,000.
You know what I mean? And I don't think he realizes how bad the experience can be for somebody that's not at his level.
Yep.
And that's my only issue with Kanye. But I will say his intentions are good. Like, I really do genuinely believe him.
I'm
like,
starting
listening to the conversation with him and Nick.
Yeah.
I believe that he's trying.
I'm starting to fall on that pattern from what he's saying. If I go off of what he's saying, his intentions are right, but it's like what I'm saying, his actions don't align with his intentions at all. Like his actions don't align with what he's saying, but I think what he's saying is accurate. Like you're saying, like I think what he's saying,
right,
that needs to happen. Because if not, then we won't progress.
Right. And that's exactly the point. That's kind of why when we had the original shit after his rally, I was like, let me shoot my man some bail. Cause
I get it now.
Pretty much what I see is that he's saying, and him and Nick kind of talked about this. This was another conversation they had. They were talking about like when white people say, well, oh, if you don't like this, go back to your country. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And his reply to somebody who would say something like that was, and where is that exactly? You've taken everything from all of my people. Like, we don't even know where home would have been.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Had y'all not taken us here in the first place. You know what I mean? So he was saying we can try to fight that bullshit fight, but that's not the reality. Like, we were brought here as servants.
Yeah.
And even though slavery isn't a thing, they still have us in a position to where if you don't do all of the things that they tell you should set out to do, you're gonna have a fucking hard time. and what he was saying was everything that you see is his hard time. You know what I mean? Because black people aren't supposed to be billionaires. You know what I mean? And when you think about everything Kanye has done after he made it as a producer / artist, everything that he's done outside of that, and you gotta admit, that's a stereotypical nigga path. The only way out is to rap or ball, like that type of shit. And he was saying everything that he's done outside of rap, they've attempted to call him crazy for.
See,
Until like now we look back when it's years later and we can look at what the Yeezy brand has grown into. You know what I mean? We can say, oh, that wasn't wow.
but see, okay, to that point, Doom, he puts himself in those situations. Like, we don't call Diddy crazy for doing the same shit that Kanye is attempting. Like, we don't call Jay-Z crazy. Like, at a certain point, you have to acknowledge that you yourself has been saying and doing things that align with that term.
And yes and no. I feel like, yes, it aligns with
because we don't call all these other black millionaires and billionaires crazy because they don't do like in prime example. Oh man, how am I forgetting this dude's name? The guy who is trying to the black guy who owns networks and shit. He's a billionaire. He oh my good. Oh man, I'm feeling so bad. I don't know this dude's name, but he is a maverick and a trailblazer, and he does not go by the book. But nobody calls this dude crazy. We call him a genius because he doesn't do. He doesn't appear to do or say the shit that Kanye says.
Right. And I kind of got an explanation for that just from listening to him talk and like really just trying to be open-minded to where his thought process comes from. Because like when I listen to Ye, I feel like most people listen to what's going to be that wild shit that he say. And they waiting to like get that little clip.
Yeah.
But
like Bob Johnson, we don't say shit about Bob Johnson.
Right. Yeah. But I'm gonna explain why. Those people, they don't say from the white person's definition what would be crazy. They don't say crazy shit. Because I think Ye brought up the Taylor Swift thing on the Nick Cannon interview. I don't know if you made it that far in the interview or not.
No, I did not.
He brought up that, and he was saying, while that shit seemed crazy, he said what wasn't crazy was that they gave him Henny. What wasn't crazy was that they strategically placed him in the first row, right in the action, and that happened the first thing of the award show.
Now, like, can I ask a question?
What's up?
Did he not ask for that Hennessy?
I don't know.
Did he have to drink that?
Whether that happened or not.
And fuck being white, I'm Black Lyndon, I'm in charge of the VMAs. Nigga, I'm putting your ass in the front row because you's Kanye. Like, what are we talking about, dude? Like, come on, dude. Now
that's not always the case where the biggest people are just in the first row.
But you want them, you want all the biggest faces in the first couple? Like granted, okay, you didn't have to put him right there, but that was his decision. Like, we gotta stop. We gotta, like, you gotta take credit for what you have done. Like, you drank that Henny and your ass went up there. And like, and I don't even think that's us calling him crazy. That's just us saying Ye was being wild. Because I don't even think that's a crazy moment. But the fact that what you say on TMZ and do all that, you're saying that. At some point, you gotta take, you can't blame others for your actions.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
That's where I shoot him the bell about. I think his perspective is just different from ours. Like, I don't think when it happens from him, which was kind of the overall theme of their conversation, was that their point of view, they know isn't always the right one. It's just society kind of teaches us that we should even care about what Ye got to say in the first place.
Like, now that I agree with.
He's famous and all this other shit. And he was saying that, I realize I'm not perfect, but I am one of the only few niggas even attempting to try to make some change. And he would not be wrong in that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with money in our community from us that don't just refuse to do shit.
No, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a knock. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, some people just aren't cut out for that fight.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the people who are even attempting, even if everything you got to give him some credit.
No, I agree with that.
You got to give him his props in that. You know what I mean?
No, I think I'm like 60% agreeing with everything you said. Like, I didn't made a 180 flip But the 40% is like you can't hide behind the fact of, oh, this is what white people think, or this is what white people taught us to think. No, nigga, your actions have put us to think what you're saying. Like, you're giving too much credit to white people to say, oh, they've conditioned you to think how you think. No, nigga, I think from what my opinion on the world is that your ass is doing some ignorant shit.
Yeah. And
that's all I'm saying.
I can't disagree with that at all. But I think he's right to a certain degree, just because we are trained to, and trained sound fucked up. I don't know what the right.
I don't like to give the white race that much, like they have that much power over us. Granted, it's if we want to be, if we're gonna do this, okay. Yes, Western educational system is brought on by them, but if you look at, I guarantee they got niggas in Africa who have learned the quote-unquote African way who think this nigga is doing some crazy shit. Like, you can't, that's, at the end of the day, no matter what is taught to us, in your gut, you can't deny what your gut tells you. And that's instinctual. And instinctually, some of that shit just don't feel right. That's all. And I'm just saying, don't give white people that much power over you. Don't give any race that much power over you, and don't excuse yourself for things that you've actually done.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I definitely can't disagree with that shit.
But like you saying, I agree.
Point, but I do
agree with you about
very underappreciated.
Yeah, I agree with you with everything you've been saying, in the sense of, we got to give Kanye more credit because he's actually attempting, and what he's saying is not wrong. What he's saying is actually smart, and it actually pertains to good shit for the culture. And I agree that we should not hold celebrities to this esteem to where they are speakers for an entire race of people. That's not who we should put our flag behind. I agree with all of that. And
not anybody. You know what I mean? Like, true. I don't think that there should be any one person that can just speak on behalf of everybody. Yeah, everyone.
No,
you know what I mean?
I
like
agree with that.
That shit shouldn't even exist. But I think his intention is, I'm gonna show that I'm at least having these ideas and putting this thought into
that I'm
how
a free
we
thinker.
can move forward. Because just that in itself might inspire the next person. Like,
that's why I
saying, like, yo, I totally disagree with everything you're doing.
But it inspires me.
Me disagreeing, I think we should do this instead, and that might be the idea that saved everybody. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. Look, this episode we agree with each other.
Underappreciated.
No, I'm with you. Yeah. In this interview, definitely, like I said, I'm not as mad at him. What you're saying about his intentions, I'm starting to see his intentions are pure and his intentions are good, and we need to give him more credit for that. But I'm even more firmer on the idea of, nigga, you did this. Like, your action, you can't give people power and say
that's like,
like, you did that. At the end of the day, you got to take responsibility for what you did. No matter the situation, because nobody put that, but unless they put that bottle to his mouth and forced him to drink, nigga, you did that. Like,
right.
That's all I'm saying.
And I wish Nick Cannon would ask about those situations. Like,
hopefully in part 2 they do
avoiding situations, right? Because there is a second part. I was just about to say that, but I feel like they didn't talk much about him and his campaign and what he was actually trying to accomplish. Because that's important. You know what I mean? Especially if he seriously think he got a shot at winning. We should at least know what your mission is outside of abortions.
But see, that's why
that's an extremely important topic.
Oh no, go ahead.
Like, while that's important, bro, you gotta address everything else that a president has no choice but to address.
But that's why in part 2 it's gonna be very critical. In my opinion, may change again, because we're gonna know if this was all for show or not. We're gonna know by the end of part 2, because that's something that he can't just not address that. And I agree with you 1,000. I wish the interviewer would challenge him more so we could get more of an explanation. And I don't think he would do it if he was challenged. I don't.
Right.
And that's something. But I don't think anybody would do it.
Somebody that he could tell, like, hey, don't we not don't do that.
Yeah,
that's facts. What I want to do out of this interview. No, especially 100%. Somebody like Nick who kind of in a compromised situation where
he got to do it. At this point.
Interview was huge. Big.
Yeah, now it makes
especially
CBS.
After he lose his show and all this other shit. Like he had the leverage going into that.
Now NBC don't want me. Cool. CBS, ABC. I'm working with Kanye West. What y'all want to do?
Right.
Right. I agree with that 2,000%. That is accurate. Next up, we got. Bro, ASAP Ferg is no longer a part of ASAP? What? So Ferg ain't ASAP no more. That nigga burnt out. Song's dumb. Trash. Mr. Anthem can't get it right. This is what the co-founder of ASAP Mob said. This is ASAP Zills or Pills, whatever his name is. Ills. I don't know what I ain't never heard this nigga tell before this, but apparently he the co-founder. He went to share screenshots that he had with Ferg, asking him to give him a call. ASAP Bari confirmed the news hours later, writing that Ills started ASAP. If it wasn't for him, there would be no ASAP Mob. So hell Ills. So yeah, it seems like Ferg was kicked out, but ASAP Nance said that's false news. The Trap Lord was not and will not be kicked out of ASAP. False news. Everybody go home. But it's interesting how ASAP still got ASAP Bari in the group, and that's a real life rapist. Like, what do we do? Like ASAP Ills and Bari look so stupid that we gonna keep Bari in here, a rapist, but kick Ferg out? Like, without like, who is you, ASAP Ills? Like, cool, you like we were all friends. You came up with it with how am I forgetting my dude's name? Rest in peace. Fuck, the dude with the mark on his face. ASAP. They do ASAP Day after him. But you and him might have started.
I know what you're talking about.
But these two niggas make all your money. Like, what do him without Rocky and Ferg? Y'all wouldn't be shit.
Right. I think Ferg realized that too. What it sounded like is Ferg was like, "Yo, I'm done with this shit."
That's what I think it is. I think Ferg is done. You wouldn't
have them niggas saying, "Oh, we didn't kick him out." You know what I mean? I think somebody might have said that because they felt played that he left and was like, "Oh, we just go get in front of it, tell niggas we kicked him out." But it sounded like he was a part of that because
ASAP right. Yams. Like that's not.
What is? Yeah,
I didn't know. I don't know who Ills is. I know Yams, and Yams probably rolling over in his grave that y'all saying ASAP Ferg not part of ASAP no more. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Who is Ills? Who is Ills and Bari to say anything? Like, if it's not Rocky,
Ferg definitely don't need them niggas.
Yeah, Ferg does not. And if I'm Rocky,
these niggas. I just saw this nigga ASAP doing some shit. ASAP Ferg doing some shit with the PGA. Like, what the fuck he need these two niggas for?
Exactly. Like,
this nigga making some moves.
Fuck Bari and fuck Ills. Like, I'm Ferg. I got fashion lines. Rocky, my best friend. I'm doing shit with the PGA. I work with Diddy. Like, if I'm Ferg, I could go to any record label I want, or I could be independent and make all the money. Fuck you niggas. I don't need y'all. Like, who is ASAP Ills?
Now he got to rebrand his name.
Yeah. He could just go with Ferg. Ferg, that's all he got to do.
I mean, niggas call him Ferg anyway, so it wasn't that big of a switch.
Just like they call Rocky. It's just Rocky and Ferg. Like, we don't need that shit. But something else that's just crazy. A lot of crazy shit just going on. And I got to start this by saying unfollowing Akademiks has been the best move of my social media career. I just feel less negativity on my timeline, less nonsense. So Akademiks has now challenged Maul and Rory to $1 million boxing fight, thinking he beat their ass. This nigga went on stream and was just talking shit about him and talking shit about the Joe Budden podcast, saying, "Oh, y'all just follow Joe. Y'all not gonna make no money. Y'all dumb niggas don't realize what they doing." But wow, this is the nigga that's trying to save 6ix9ine career, because 6ix9ine is about to battle Lil Durk for an album release day, and if 6ix9ine loses, it's over for him. All the antics, everything is done. And the only person trying to keep this alive, because he knows this is his cash cow, is Akademiks. Akademiks is a clown, bro. Like, I always say I have respect for him, but I'm slow, like, for what he built. But like, every day he does some more and more clown shit, and he fucked up his whole position by just aligning with 6ix9ine and just doing dumb shit.
And bro, that's the reason why everything that I do, every move that I make, because like, obviously, niggas like me and you, we got like a mission with what we trying to build. Facts. You know what I mean? Like, you got the podcast, I got my music and shit. Like, we got a certain mission that we trying to accomplish that we know is not gonna be just overnight.
Yeah.
I would never compromise all of my work by just engaging in clown shit.
Yeah, man.
And not only did he engage in it, bro, he built his whole platform
off of
around
that.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
and he made
so
that his
now
brand.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, that clown shit never lasts. Like,
And
that has never happened in the history of existence.
It'll
You know what I'm
get
saying?
you.
Like,
It's clown shit is literally gasoline for a match, but that gasoline will burn out eventually. It's not coal and wood that, it'll start off as a small fire, but that coal and wood will eventually grow to a huge fire and sustain for a lot longer than just gasoline on a match. Gasoline on a match blows up and then dissipates. That's what he did.
Yep.
Whereas he had the opportunity to, okay, you did the clown shit with Chicago, but Chicago niggas forgave you. You now are the biggest voice in hip hop. And instead of learning from your mistakes with Chicago and how you handled all that and what you promoted, you double down on it and go with this just clown of a guy in 6'9" and just, it's just, you fumbled the rock so much and you just, and you want to talk about them, you have no integrity.
Right. And I think all with this little fight shit is you see Act realizing that
It's
at
almost
one
over.
point,
Yeah.
that and at one point he was Joe Budden's sidekick. And he decided
some could argue was never Joe Budden's sidekick, was Joe Budden's equal.
Yeah. And now you look at time progressing, because when Joe left Complex, that was like everybody was saying, well, he fucked.
Yeah, it's over with.
Now. You know what I mean? Because you saw him kind of rise, and then, because honestly, the Complex show was, niggas wasn't even talking about Joe Budden before that.
Yep.
And he always had his pod going, but niggas didn't care about
the pod until after
what he was doing.
Yep.
And Joe going Complex, he made a name for himself by being genuine. Like, everything that he was saying, he wasn't just pandering to what would get clicks or what would make the quick buck. Like, he was genuinely getting passionate over the shit that he really believed in. He was being genuine, and people fucked with that. So when he left, that initial breakup, I'm sure Act was sitting there thinking like, aha, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm over here still eating. Look at you.
I got the big,
and then
arguably the biggest show in hip hop since The Breakfast Club. It was arguably, they arguably took The Breakfast Club spot from number one. Arguably.
That's
and then,
fact.
and he thought he had it.
What's the name of the show now? I don't forget.
It's still Everyday Struggle. It's still Everyday Struggle.
Everyday Struggle. I remember watching that show thinking like, all right, what the fuck I need to watch
The Breakfast Club for. Yes.
Because Everyday Struggle was real. You know what I mean? Like, that was like,
it was a daily show.
They don't. Right. I remember the Breakfast Club being with iHeart and all that shit. Like, everything was always so TV and radio ready. You know what I mean?
And the only thing that wasn't the stuff that was uncut was just interviews, and it was interviews with specific people. So you had to pick through like what interview is for me, what interview isn't. Whereas these dudes was coming raw and uncut every day.
Yep. And I fucked with it, bro. And I even low key kind of fucked with it after Joe.
Same.
But what happened is the longer and longer it went, and the more, Act started seeing a little success, he just don't know when to chill with the craziness. You know what I mean? Like, those to me are the kind of niggas we need to be calling crazy.
Yeah.
Because he'll sit there and literally tear down people fighting the same fight. Well, the fight he should be fighting. He'll tear down people on his side just for some clicks. And
he's
doing
bro.
the same shit that we complain about the actual media. You know what I'm saying? We complain about that shit all the time. And then
that's him.
Somebody that's from our side do the same shit.
And someone who made it from the ground up, like someone who made it from just posting Instagram and YouTube videos to the point that he is, that's somebody that I know for a fact you want a champion, I want a champion, but you can't because you took that and just you went left with, you didn't even You took it and just became the most, I'm doing this for money. I'm doing this for clicks. I'm doing this to get likes. I'm doing this. You are literally with the Vine. You are literally what Bunk was. Bunk Gang. You literally did the Bunk Gang for media. And it's like, but you were the one that was making fun of Bunk for clowning. But that's what you did.
Yeah. And I mean, I really used to fuck with Act.
Same.
So I still champion the way he came up.
Yeah.
What I don't champion is what he did after the come up. How he used the shit he gained from the come up. Yeah. Because my nigga, you could still, there was a million ways, especially once Act made it to where he was. There was a million ways. Like we talking about at the everyday struggle point. There's so many different shits he could have did to sustain a career. Other than
his
fucking with 6ix9ine, other than tearing down other black artists. You know what I mean? There was so much shit you could have done.
He could have made himself a Twitch show and been the guy, like been the main Twitch nigga and like been a Twitch partner and got a bag from Twitch. But yet he wanted to just suck Complex's dick and just work for somebody instead of being a boss. And there's nothing wrong with it. And look, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with working for someone, but what he did was not just work for someone. He aligned himself with certain people that he felt that as they rose, he would ride their coattails to the top instead of doing it on his own in that faction. Because you could work for someone, but still get yourself to the top. Like look at Elliott Wilson. Elliott Wilson works for Tidal, but you can't tell me Elliott Wilson not a boss in building his brand and doing things his way and with the Rap Radar podcast. Whereas Act aligned himself with 6ix9ine and wanted to ride 6ix9ine's coattails till it fell off.
Yeah. And I mean, now he's seeing effects from that.
Like he's trying to promote this Lil Durk and 6ix9ine beef, and then we find out that 6ix9ine people offered Lil Durk $3 million to beef with him. Like, what is that? What are y'all doing? Yeah. If Lil Durk starts beefing with him, I lose so much respect for Durk.
Yeah, and honestly, bro, as Ack, as somebody that should be the voice for us, why are you even promoting beef? Yeah. Like, we over here trying to fight the opposite fight. We over here trying to get white people to see that we not animals that just care about this dumbass bullshit all the time. That we really trying to be out here doing good for society. Facts. And this the shit you choose to promote nigga?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For a clown like 6ix9ine, bro.
No, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I hate calling people shit like that, but people who do shit like that,
you gotta say it.
The direction of where the culture should be going. Like we need to always be moving forward, not back.
Like I say, for the preservation and progression of the culture, and he is not for that at all.
That's a fact, and he proven that. You know,
every day. Because I don't know. How does Wayno work with him? How does Nadeska and Wayno work with him? I don't get because they seem like some real integrity people. If you watch Nadeska's show by herself on Apple, great show. Wayno, I love what Nadeska does. I love what Wayno does. I don't know how they work with him. I don't know.
Yeah, and I really fuck with Wayno. Like Wayno is, I think
Wayno the only reason why I watch that show.
Yeah, if I watch it, something outside of Complex.
He does.
I would definitely.
It's time to get out.
I'm sorry. I need to look up on that if he do have something outside.
I feel like his outside shit is just artist management and development, like what he be doing with his artists and shit.
Yeah.
But like if he want to do a show, he need to get out of Complex while the getting is good. Because I'm telling you, how you feel about this take? If Lil Durk outsells 6ix9ine in this upcoming album battle, it's over with. It is over for that nigga 6ix9ine. I'm talking about over with in terms of being what he was, because we're already seeing that people aren't checking for the antics. We're already seeing that, like, he's trying to start beef. He went to Chicago. He went to O Block again. He's doing all this shit. And niggas is just like, bro, you just being a clown. You're doing too much. It's not getting the clicks that it used to get. And I think if this album flop, he's not going to be done with, like, gone forever, because he's still going to have his fans from Instagram and whatnot. He got a couple million fans. But I just think the idea of 6ix9ine being in that spotlight is done for.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he still do numbers. I think he'll outperform Durk.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somehow, you know, he get the Laugh Now, Cry Later to be on the album and they
Durk not getting that.
From that. That's the only way. But I don't think he also 6ix9ine. But I do think Durk will never have to worry because the people
fuck with Dirk.
Look at him. They take him serious way more than they do 6ix9ine. And Dirk been in the game since the old Chicago drill era. You know what I mean? Like that's consistency. So I think Dirk win if we talk about the long game. You know what I mean? Dirk win hands down.
Yeah,
like 6ix9ine ain't never gonna be able to compete with that because we can already see his shit dying.
And his integrity. Yeah, no, that's a fact. We can see with the real and Dirk. Let's get to some small stories. And we were gonna talk about this Joe Budden Tahiri shit, but I don't even want to because Joe is right. Like that lady's lying. The major thing from this, I want you to listen to the pod, and we'll have a real conversation next week where how do we handle women who lie about abuse and lie about these things and how that takes away from victims? We'll talk about that next week because I think that's the conversation needs to be had and not talking about Joe's situation because Joe 100% proved that this lady's lying. But I think the conversation needs to be had is what do we do in the situation as men when women lie on us? That's a conversation we need to have. And we'll do that next week with Brooklyn. But some small stories. R. Kelly got stabbed in prison, dog. Ooh, that nigga trapped in the cell. They stabbed him in jail.
I wonder what the fuck he did to get in that situation.
Niggas was
That's
like,
what I want to know.
Yeah, I know. Because if it was the rape thing, niggas would have just been like, oh, they'd have did that earlier. But that nigga probably just was acting too much like, oh, I'm R. Kelly. I'm this nigga. The niggas probably was like, nigga, you just a normal nigga. Shank, shank. Like they got his ass.
I don't know, man. That's crazy. And
they said they kicked him in the head.
R. Kelly just.
They said they kicked him in his head, stabbed him. They said R. Kelly got his ass whooped. He not in club fed though.
A nigga at.
He in normal prison.
So he. That's crazy.
But this is not a federal crime.
They just got him in the regular.
Because you got to think right now.
Shit.
He'll go to club fed in a little bit because of the allegations with the women because they happened over state lines and shit. But he's in real jail right now because of the child support shit because that happened in Chicago. That's not a federal crime. Yeah. So he waiting trial for the fed
That's
shit.
Crazy.
So he in real jail until he goes to club fed. So
damn, bro.
Yeah, no, they gonna stab his ass.
It's a lot of people that probably think he getting what was coming to him, bro.
Yep, and all the Boondocks
if he was doing some crazy shit.
The Boondocks is a predictor of the future. Did you see all those crazy people marching down Chicago saying free R. Kelly? They had a free R. Kelly parade.
I didn't see that. That's nuts. That's nuts.
They had black women, bro. It was majority black women saying free this nigga.
Free him for what? Free him for what? I need the answer to that one.
It was just saying
free that
him
nigga for what?
They said the women are lying. Free him. We need his music again.
That's crazy. If that's the case,
black women need to chill with that.
But saying free that nigga is crazy.
Put that nigga underneath the jailhouse. Not even in jail. That's underneath it. Next up, we got, shout out to Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's a billionaire. That man went from writing plays in the back of his car in New Orleans to a billionaire. That's somebody we don't call crazy, dude. Salute that nigga. Like, for real. Tyler Perry's a huge inspiration. Got his own studio. That's somebody that I respect. That's somebody that's doing what Kanye's saying, but his actions follow what he's doing. He said, okay, y'all don't want to give me a movie studio? Fuck it. I'm going to make one in Atlanta, and now everybody uses his studio. That's what, that's a trailblazer. Bro?
It's super big, and I think we should take a second just to kind of appreciate that nigga and what he doing. But all the shit that he's done, all the shit that he's built, all the money that he made, he still found a way to flip that into how can I pay it forward? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, same shit I was saying with Kanye, bro. That's like, you can count on one hand the niggas that'll touch $1 billion and that be they life focus after they touch $1 billion.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Most niggas trying to spend that money, go lay up with the baddest women in the world and live life.
Yeah.
But a nigga make it to that spot and still say, all right, there's a whole lot more fight left to be done.
I gotta do. Yeah,
I'm doing this, and I'm hiring people that look and are in the situation that I was in when I thought it was no way to make it. You know what I mean? And now
giving people opportunities. Yeah, man.
Right.
Like
in a spot.
No, go ahead.
My bad. in a spot where like you can come into this and not have to worry about like, I got big corporation dollars, but I'm not going to treat you like these big corporations would treat
Yep.
you.
I'm not
I
going
can allow you to come in here. You can learn the game. You can make money. You can be financially taken care of to where
and you could
now
do it
you can
your
go
way. Like you can, I'm
right.
not gonna try to control your art and change it so it fits my corporate agenda. I'm gonna let you make what you want to make on my studio, and now you can take that and go use that to build your brand and to go get any job you
Right.
want. You can come back to my studio and use it if you want, or you can go to somewhere else. But I'm giving you the opportunity to get to another level. And you gotta applaud Tyler Perry, man. Tyler Perry's amazing for what he's doing. 1,000%.
That's really big shit. Like I think there's a lot of people who they'll kind of see he got $1 billion and they'll snark at him because, oh, I ain't got a Billy, so fuck that nigga. You know what I mean? But I think people need to appreciate, definitely black people for sure, need to kind of appreciate what he did and how he took what he did to
and he's for our
others.
people.
You know what I mean? That shit is real important.
Like Oprah says she's good for us, but Oprah pick and choose when she good for us. Tyler Perry is good for us. Like Tyler Perry cares about not just black men, but black women. He cares about us all. And that's why gotta applaud Tyler Perry. The next small story we got is Variety reports that majority of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air cast will join Will Smith to celebrate a milestone. Will, Tatiana Ali, Karen Parsons, Joseph Marcel, Daphne Maxwell Reid, Alfonso Ribeiro, and of course DJ Jazzy Jeff will be reuniting for an unscripted sit-down for HBO Max. The special is set to be filmed on September 10th. This is also leading up to giving people hype for the reboot that Will Smith's production company is doing. Are you excited for this get back together, and are you excited for the reboot? I know this is a movie topic, but that trailer was so ass to me that I had to bring this up again. I'm excited about the cast coming back together. I'm not excited that reboot is real.
I don't know, man. Like I watched the trailer and I mean, it didn't make me say, oh shit, I can't wait to watch this, but I don't think it'll be bad. Like
I don't like that they took the comedy out of it. They made it like All American. Yeah. And I know me and you watch All American, but you can't lie. All American is cheesy at sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. But, and I mean, it is, but I do think that giving it to the new generation, like just that Fresh Prince story is important. Like something to keep it going. Even though it maybe, we can argue it could have been executed different. But I do think it's important because like, this is the shit that me and you came up on as kids. You know what I'm saying? And outside of going back and watching it, like the old episodes, it's not that type of shit is not really told through current eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's important for the new.
And there's a lot of things that the old show touches on that's a little out of date. Like there's no cell. Like right. I agree with that. I'm not gonna hate on it, but I am excited for them coming back together to do a episode before we get that reboot, like of the old school shit.
That's crazy. I wonder what that's like.
And they said it's unscripted, so they're just gonna be. They said they're just gonna be freestyling and improvising, which is crazy to me.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's fucking dope.
So I'm gonna be watching that.
I want to see that.
September. Oh, it's gonna be filmed on September 10th, and it will be aired on Thanksgiving. So for Thanksgiving on HBO Max, we got to check out the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air secret special episode. And the final topic before we get to the interviews for today, bro, you saw Adele trying to be Chet Hanks, trying to be female Chet Hanks, Jamaican.
What the fuck was that? I need the backstory from that. How did that happen? How did that picture come to be? Because I've been seeing it everywhere, but nobody knows how that picture came to be.
I don't know. I need to know. I just saw it on the internet and she posted it. I don't even know if she posted it. It was just her in Bantu knots with a big bird feather behind her with Jamaican bikini top. Look, like Adele's too special to be doing clown shit like that.
She too white to be doing shit like that.
That's
like that didn't even look right. That didn't even look right. And a lot of people was trying to kill her. They was trying to get her out of here for that.
Yeah, no, she don't cancel. Come on, that's just some jokes. All that deserves some jokes. Like Chet Hanks. Like, we're not canceling Chet.
It just depends what the fuck she was doing, though. Because I know she got a black dude now. Ain't her boyfriend black?
Her boyfriend Skepta, who's Jamaican. Like,
okay.
They might have been at
Skepta. It is Skepta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Well, then that's not, man, fuck it. She gonna try to enjoy the day with her dude. Fuck it. I'm for it, bro. She just looked a little.
She looked wild.
That shit.
She shouldn't have had them Bantu knots. Everything else would have been like she should just wore her hair down. The Bantu knots is what threw it off.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
shit.
crazy, bro.
But that's all we got
shout
this week.
Adele, though.
Yeah, shout out Adele. That's all we got this week. Doom, tell the people they can find you on social media.
At Lil Doom SJE, Instagram and Twitter, man. Y'all holla at me.
Y'all go follow Doom. Hey, don't you have a new song? Tell the people, man. What's up? Tell them where they can find your music at. Stop clowning.
I'm still working. So I'm planning on putting an EP together for Spotify, all the DSPs and shit. But
when you do that,
I've been leaking a little bit of shit on SoundCloud. So
when you do that, we're gonna have to premiere a new song. We're gonna have to premiere a song on here, man.
No doubt. If y'all want to check out the shit that I was dropping, SoundCloud, Lil Doom SJ, same as all my other socials and shit.
Doom does not promote his music, but his shit is like some of the best music I've heard this year. So y'all definitely go check that out. My nigga coming with that King Toxic energy, and y'all will see what I mean when y'all listen to the song.
Yes, sir.
But with that being said, let's get into this week's interview with Baby Joe, aka DeSean, and we're gonna get a world premiere of his song right now.
With her? Don't be stupid. Here we go, what's that,
my darling, you're part of the problem. It's so easy to say that she just wastes me away, but baby, you do the same. Would you please just mix it okay? I've been trying to fight it, and I get excited when you come around, girl. You blur out the room. Truth being told, you work more than gold, but you turn me to stone when you go call me bro. You could save me, but you would rather judge me. You see my heart racing every time you touch me, and it's obvious you ain't never thought of us. So don't tell me about breaking up if you ain't gon' come replacing us. You could save me, but you would rather judge me. You see my heart racing every time you touch me, and it's obvious you ain't never thought of us. So don't tell me about breaking up if you ain't gon' come replacing us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special interview. I am hyped This man knows. Hold on, I gotta do a hat change on him. Because that's how I'm feeling right now. That's how I'm feeling. The hell look crazy. I gotta get tight on it. I gotta look super fly when I talk about this shit. This shit is lit. I got the boy, DeSean, aka Baby Joe, aka Joe Hudson, aka Joe's grandboy, aka Deuce's uncle, up in the building, y'all. Look, I am so excited because first of all, I don't bring people on here that I'm not a fan of. Like in terms of like rappers, music. If I don't like your music, you're not coming on my show, point blank, because I'm not gonna fake it. But with this gentleman right here, it's more than just business because like I'm a legit fan of this man's music. Like everybody who I bring on here, I think is talented, but I may not be a fan. No, I'm a fan of this nigga right here. This is some quality R&B coming from Cali by way of BR. The roots originate in the boot. Man, how are you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I'm just trying to live it up. You know what I'm saying? Get all my ducks in a row and put on.
First off, I don't remember if the last time we talked was during the pandemic or not. I don't think it was. I think it was right before because you dropped in 2020. So first off, before I get to you basically flexing on the game in a little bit, how have you been during this COVID-19 shit? Since I think we talked in like January or February.
Yeah, it was around February.
Yeah, so how you been doing since being quarantined, especially since you in LA, one of the hot zones where like shit is like stricter sanctions?
I'm like an hour away from LA. I'm in San Diego.
But you know what? In Cali, same shit.
Yeah, but it was up and down at first because at first when the pandemic started, I had shows and shit lined up,
Oof.
and you know
that shit is miserable.
My album, and so I was like, damn, son, that shit got canceled.
Trust me, I know how that feel because we were supposed to travel all around the country doing like live podcasts at like different Comic-Cons and anime cons. Like we had it lined up damn near to December. I was gonna even come out to LA to hit you up because we had Anime Expo, the biggest fucking shit in July, and when that shit canceled, I was heartbroken. So I know how you feel.
Facts, fam. I'm talking about I was hurt, and so that happened. Then plus I was doing the album, and then my people. Like, damn, and my whole family got corona back home.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry,
they
bro.
called it like one time. They all shook back.
Okay, cool. Good thing.
That all happened at once and shit like that.
So I know that was difficult.
Yeah. But the one thing that made this album come out is right after we did our interview, I was at the gym and my brother, he called me and he goes, hey, he had put me and all our friends on FaceTime. He was like, hey, look, remember that pack that we said? And I was like, what? And so he's like, yeah, remember that pack we said? And I'm looking, he was like, well, me and our friend Kieta already did it, so y'all need to catch up. I'm thinking, and so I bust out in the tears because the pack was that we'd all have our kids around the same time. And so when he said that, I bust out in the tears saying, no, I'm not, which is crazy because I make R&B music. I'm not really an emotional person. So I'm busting out in tears. He's like, yeah, bro, you finna be an uncle. And so when the COVID shit hit, everything got shut down for me, I was like, well, all you could do is focus on music. And plus, I'm still in school and shit. So I stay at class and shit like this. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm finna make an album that once, you know, my nephew get older, Deuce, he can listen to it and be like, hey, you know, it's just a little time stamp, like a time capsule.
Yeah. So that's what inspired all that. See, I didn't know it was that. That's a very interesting story. I thought it had ties to Clyde because, you know, Clyde Edwards had that 2-2 number, so I didn't know.
That's what the outro about.
Okay. We're going to get to that. Well, first off, last time you came, you said you was down to do a versus, which will happen soon enough. I finally found an R&B combatant to go up against you, so I will set that up after this. I know you ready. I'm ready too, nigga, because I know you got the smokers, but this person got the smokers too, so I'm excited to see how y'all fare against each other. But let me say this. You put your foot on the next this year. You pulled a Future. You pulled a DMX. You pulled what these classic legends do. You dropped 2 projects in a year, but not just in a year, because them niggas do it where they drop a beginning and then one at the end. Nigga, you dropped one in less than 4 months. Like 2 legit albums. Talk to me about what possessed you to do that. What, is this you just, like I said, flexing your nuts on the game? Is this you saying like, I'm really about this R&B shit? I don't make microwave music because everything got lyrical content ability, and we come in and we showing y'all that we here to stay. Also, love to see you with United Masters on top of that.
Y'all, gotta keep it independent, gotta keep it, all that. But what it really happens is I just make a lot of fucking songs. And it gets to the point where it's like every time I'm like, all right, cool, I'm ready for the project. I'm put a list of all the songs that I made that was within that time period. I have to stop myself.
Real.
And I have to stop myself and be like, all right, cool, stop the rest of this music for the project. And so it got to the point, I remember it was 32 songs. I wrote down 32 songs. And I was like, okay, you're going to have to cut this to at least, we're going to say 10. Cut it to 10. Couldn't cut it to 10. I got it like 20. And then I had it to 15. And it was going to be 15 songs. But 3 of them didn't clear. So that's how we ended up with 12. And when I tell you, look, I got videos coming for them 3. Them 3.
They tough.
They was some hitters. Like it's crazy because people like, I love the album now. But I'm like, bro, if y'all could have heard what the original album was, them 3 that they took off, everybody gonna be upset when I drop the video. They're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Well, that's like a little deluxe. It's like a video deluxe sprinkle on top that I'm excited as fuck to hear. Oh man, I'm super, super excited. So let me ask you this. Are we going for 3 this year? Or is 2 what we maxing out at?
October 20th.
Oh, we going for 3. I'm gonna drop the air horns in the back right here. Oh shit. This nigga coming for y'all next, and I fuck with it. Let me ask you, because it's crazy, bro. Because like I said, it's not like when I hear like a Uzi drop 3 times a year, or like one of those mumble rappers like a Trippy or something, where their quality dips in terms of content. Your quality in terms of lyrics do not dip. The singing is, if you ask me, better than the last album. The beats are better than the last album. So it seems like you're improving every step you go. What do you attribute that to? And why is it that you can constantly put out good content and lyrics? I know you have to have life experiences, which I know you're experiencing, but how does it just come like this, bro? This is kind of crazy. Because with everybody, like, because you would expect either the music to fall off a little bit or the lyrics to fall off a little bit, but both keep evolving and getting better as you, because I know you're making some of these beats. I know you're getting better at instrumentation. I know you're getting in nicer studios. So as you elevate, your music is elevating and nothing is missing a step. So what do you attribute that to?
I'm severely competitive. And I'm severely competitive with myself. So, like I tell people all the time, sometimes when people are like, oh, I'm competitive, they think I'm to compete with the people right on side you. To me, I'm competing with Ghost. I'm trying to get my music to be up there with Michael Jackson, Prince, and them. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
you compete with the legends.
Right. I'm never with so I'm like, I always got to get better. Because you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I never hate on nobody on Simon, because I'm like, we can all get a bag.
Yeah. There's enough out there for everybody to eat.
Yeah. So, but my competition isn't you. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you go and get there too. My competition is them. You know what I'm saying? They set the standard. I'm trying to break that. So I'm always critical on myself, because a lot of times I'm doing everything. So I have to be critical on myself. If not, then I become my own yes man.
Yeah.
So I'm my biggest critic. So every time I'm critiquing it, and I'm just critical as fuck on myself. And then musically, it has to sound good both ways to me. Because some people, they don't do the other side of the engineering. So long as they get the song out that's in their head, they're like, all right, cool.
Cool, we good.
Sound like a good song to me, and it has to sound good sonically for me to put it out.
1000%.
Because I'm on both sides. And then plus, now I've branched out, because it used to be I was the one making my beats. I branched out. I got my partner Christian Baker. He did half of the tracks. Gil's making waves. Shout out to him. that man is a lifesaver sometimes. Because when I feel like I done hit a little drought, that man come through and be like, "Here, I got you."
Real.
And so shout out to him. And I'm just expanding that. And then plus my fear is I'm always afraid of doing the same thing twice.
Okay.
I don't even like saying the same words twice in a song. So I'm always like, okay, if it sounds like something I did before,
Gotta, yeah,
okay.
okay.
It sounds like, yeah, I'm always like, you can't do that.
Cognizant of that shit.
Yeah, you can't be cookie cutter. Like, I won't ever, when somebody like, oh, I don't want somebody to hear a song I put on there, be like, oh, this sounds like a DeSean song, like it should, like this is what the DeSean song sound like. I want it to be like,
you don't sound like nobody else.
I want them to be like, oh, this would it sound like him because he's on, or it sounds like it because of his voice. I don't want it to be like, oh, because he got this type of drum pattern.
Yeah,
doing this cadence, like he always do that. Like, nah, like I try.
You want it to be unique every time, 1,000%.
Right, but I've learned that you can't go too far overcorrect and keep doing different shit. You got to have some type of identity.
Yeah, truth.
So
you got to have your wave.
Yeah, so I try and keep a base, but I just add to it. It's like cooking. You know what I'm saying? I know
1,000%.
I'm gonna throw on that motherfucker, but
I'm gonna change up the seasonings every now and then. Yeah, all right, for sure. Well, okay, so since you make so much music, how do you narrow down your choices? Because I'm sure the B-sides and C-sides that you got that never make the cut, they still probably go hard as fuck. So how is that decision process?
What sounds good together.
Okay.
So I throw all the songs on, and so how I make it to where like people listen to it all the way through is, okay, what sounds good transitioning to each one and giving a story. Because, you know what I'm saying, certain ones on there I could have switched out for another song that I knew was a hit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I know you got throwaways. I know you got hard throwaways.
Like, I know that big smack. I could put straight hits on there, but then people just gonna pick their favorites and then
it's gonna be
think about the album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I put things on there that tie into each other. They insinuate and like make everything come together and glue it together, but they also good individually. That's the thing. So if they have to be good individually and help the whole album.
1,000.
Because there's a message in the album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I fuck with you about it. It's not just random songs that all sound good. It's like, there's a story behind all of this if you pay attention.
Right.
1,000%. Okay, so now that you got producers working for you before we get into the album, how do you want to get you know how Mike has Quincy, Drake has 40, The Weeknd has Elangelo. Do you ever want to get to that point to where, like you said, you got Christian Baker? Do you ever want to do a whole project where you don't produce nothing, you help out, you do like the little final touches, so to speak, and then but Christian majority is the producer, and you're kind of like the executive producer Diddy role, where it's like, I'll just make sure everything sounds good, but this dude is leading the direction akin to like a Quincy.
October 20th.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm good at it. You see, I'm good at my job. When you said that, I knew what time it was. Hell yeah! Shout out to Christian Baker. We're gonna have to get him on the pod too when y'all drop that.
Christian Baker.
When y'all do that project.
Gibbs, and then I'm doing for this next one. I give you this one because you fucked with me so many years. It's gonna be a lot of live instrumentation. Hell
to the yeah! Oh shit! I see. Look, I've been peeping game. You know I follow you on the gram. You know I always tap in when I see something new. You've been working with guitars, strings, flutes, pianos. I see it out there. Fuck yeah! And you can. I don't know if you did some of that on this album, but there's a couple songs like when you put the Santana joint on the album, I was like, oh shit, this nigga out here. And I was like, this is left field, but it works. Like, this is what I want to hear my nigga doing, progressing. Hell yeah. So with that being said, let's get into the album. So you start us off with Too Long. Talk to me about Too Long and just about the creation of that song and why you chose for that to be the intro, because that's a banger.
It was the intro because when the songs that got cut out, it was because originally it was the number 3 track. There was 2 songs ahead of it, but they got cut out. But then when I listened to it again, I was like, it's still in symmetry with everything else. And then plus I was like, that's a hell of a first song. Like motherfuckers didn't know what was coming. Like it wasn't like I was like, hear some previews and nothing like that. All this is just brand new. And
Oh no, look. This hit like a Weekend intro. This hit like a Drake intro. That's what I'm telling you. Like, you are out here competing. Like, when I heard this, I was like, oh, I know what type of time this is. And I told you this off air. This project, and this is no disrespect to Joe's Grandboy, because I love Joe's Grandboy. This project is better than Joe's Grandboy. Like, I gotta be honest. This shit is hard. You came correct, and you set the tempo with this first track.
And what happened? I hit.
Oh, and I want to know with each track, I ask who produced it so I can get to know Christian Baker or Gibbs' style.
Oh, yeah, that's Christian on the first track.
Okay, for sure.
And so what happened was I think we was in a group message. He had sent like 3 songs, and he was just like, because he only been producing for like 2 months.
That's nuts.
But he's a fucking sponge. Like, when I was doing all the shit for Joe Grandboy, going to the studio and shit like that, he would just sit, write shit down, ask questions, all that type of shit. And then he just took off.
Real.
He just took off with it.
Speak on, just let's transition to this. How is it that because to see that y'all are making a project together and to see that he had so many songs on this tape, what type of confidence in kind of sick nigga are you that you got trust in this nigga after 2 months? Like, that's great. Like, granted, he's talented as fuck. Granted, like, this shit sounds amazing, but like, you took a chance and bet, and like, trust me, I fuck with that, because niggas, if niggas don't know, some of my podcast people never, like, some of the new people like Doom, that nigga never did a podcast in his life before, and I just threw him on the first episode, and we was like, let's go, just because I knew the type of nigga he was, how it would sound on the thing. So I want to know, because I feel like we have a similar wavelength with this shit. What drew you to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance on this dude, and we just gonna go?
So Christian was my partner. Like, he is my partner. And so at first, Christian is a track runner.
Okay.
Christian is like
dedicated.
Really fuck, like,
no discipline. Like, yeah, I know where you coming with this.
Olympics this year.
Yeah.
And so he did that, and he has his own clothing line. So off rip, I knew he was a hustler. And I knew about his work ethic. But he was real life when he would come to the studio, because first he would just come to the studio to chill. We had recorded a couple songs. Like, now, if you hear my beats and you hear, I think we got another one, J.O.
Okay.
That's him, because I recorded a song like about a year ago with him, and he just said it randomly. And I was like, first off, motherfucker, it's J.O.E., but I'm gonna fuck with it. And so I knew him from then, and then he would be in the studio, and he's a fucking sponge, one of the smartest people I ever met. He just took it all in, and then he was just like, I'm gonna try making beats. And you wouldn't believe this, the first beat this man sent to me was Deja.
Oh no.
That was the first beat he sent to me. And I was like,
shit.
I'm like, bro, that's your first one? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
No, wait. This is something I'm gonna have to ask him. But I know if you listen to this, Christian Baker, I need to know if you did practice beats before that. Because ain't no way in hell Deja is the first beat you ever made. Like, he might have did practice and didn't send it to you.
Yeah, it had to be that. But I know the first one he sent me was Deja.
That's nuts. That's crazy. And speaking of Deja, I gotta know what's up with that Lafayette trip. My nigga said he was in Lafayette, didn't have a blower. There's some chump nigga on UL campus was about to get smoked, nigga. I don't know who you is, but you better watch yourself, my nigga. Joe all the way up in Cali, but that's a real one. Yo, that shit blew my mind when I heard that. I was like, oh shit.
What happened was, so Deja, me and her went to elementary school together, all that good stuff, And so when we got to college, you know what I'm saying, we got to, rekindling shit, all that type of shit, boom, boom, boom. But we was talking to each other, but we wasn't really official, nothing like that. Shit like that. And so she was like, hey, come to Laffy, drive me back to BR, because her people, she really from BR. We get there. I get to Laffy. Now, the whole dynamic of her tone changed in the text message. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm on the way to Laffy. You know what I'm saying? That's a quick 45. I'm on the way to Laffy. Man,
like, you're not going down unless you got a purpose. Same thing with me and BR. Like, you got to have something doing. And, like, I'm not just just driving around.
So I'm like, man, cool. I'm pulling up. She like, I call her phone because I'm like, I don't know where to park. a nigga answer the phone. Hello? I'm like,
Oh shit.
hey, what day is it? And so I went straight to, hey, what day is it?
Yeah, like who the fuck is you, nigga?
Right. So next, I get shit like, oh, come around front, da 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 da. This nigga get outside. You know what I'm saying? You know a nigga flexing too much. So he all hugged up with all that type of shit.
Just trying to show off.
Right. And she I guess she gets sense that I'm like, bet.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I'm like, I'm not even about to whoop this nigga ass because of you. I'm about to whoop this nigga ass because he think that he can play with me like I'm not
like you're a chump or some shit.
Right, like quit playing and shout out to my dog Alyssa, because for some reason she just walked by and she was like, Joe, she didn't know I was there. She like, why you looking like that? I'm like, man, this nigga playing with me. I'm really finna sleep and shit. Shit, like, don't do it. He on some flunky shit. And I was like, man, she was like, plus, man, you like security be tripping. So
Yeah,
like,
that's a fact.
All right, cool. And so, like real life, I was really finna catch K-O. You ain't play with me like that.
I hate scrub ass niggas like that, bro. Like, that's not for you. You just trying to do that to show off, to get under that nigga's skin and fuck up, throw salt on a nigga game. That's all that is. Now, I got a question for you, because it take a real... What made you not leave after you saw that? Because it's like, yo, you drove all the way to BR to pick up. Y'all got a little thing going on, and you out of here and laughing, cuddle up with some nigga when I get there. Like, I don't know. That could be an instance where I could leave. But the fact is, y'all are good friends, though.
That's what it was. We wasn't official. We still friends. And that's the thing about me. If I'm friends with you,
I'm going to take care of you. Yeah, facts. But I know that hurt. That car ride back was a little spicy. You face.
There's a reason why the lyrics is it's been 2 years since we last seen each other.
Yeah. Yo, also, I love the Miss Jackson flip. What was that about?
Her last name is Deja.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, nigga, go.
Yeah, I like the flip on that one. You did a damn good job with that flip, because unlike SZA, I think it was SZA who had the last time the Miss Jackson flip, but she did it production-wise. That shit did not work. But the way you flipped it with this song and Christian's production, it really fucking worked. So God Said featuring Soul. Talk to me about why you chose Soul. Soul was the only feature on it. But yo, that song is like a rap banger. Like, that shit is tough. I was literally in my car, and one of my homeboys was in there because I was bringing him to his crib because his car was fucked up, and he was like, yo, who the fuck is this? I was like, yo, nigga, this DeSean, nigga, this shit go hard as fuck. He was like, send me this album ASAP, because he's like a big R&B rap head, and he was like, yo, this nigga can go.
So what happened was, it wasn't my song. That song was old as fuck. That's like from 2017. Soul came to record it. And
crazy.
So he came to record it.
That shit sound fresh.
Finish it. He didn't finish it. And so it was 3 years later, he just said, man, finish that bit if you want to. And so at first, when I tried it again in like 2019, it didn't work. So I just came back to it. And so I was like, what happened? I was talking about same girl from Tell Me Where You Been.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, man, bet. And so I went in on that bit. And the part that I even shocked myself on was that I'm tired of making these love songs. Like, bitch, don't even feel the same. When I hit that note, I was like, oh, yeah.
It's time. We doing this one.
What? And I didn't even know how hard the song was till I sent it out. And niggas was like, bro, that's you? I'm like,
yeah, no, that shit is
not send you. And so I'm like, yeah, that's me. They was like, nigga, damn.
Like, that song is so hard that I don't know if it's going to be hard for me not to put that as the song that goes before the interview, because I always do a world premiere. It's going to be hard not to put that as the world premiere, but it's like, yo, I fuck with Just My Friend, 225 to 619, Deja, Too Long, but like, God Said is so fucking tough. That might be the outro, because that song is just hard.
That fucking chorus, that man hit that.
Yeah, Soul did his thing on that one. Shout out to Soul. Like, again, what made him be the only feature? Was it just because it just worked out that way, or was that?
It was just because it just worked out that way. And a lot of times, people, I don't know how, but people really be like, son, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, what you mean I don't know what to do?
Nigga, just rap or sing.
They like, bro, like, I don't think you understand. Like, that's your sound. And I'm like, what you mean that's my sound? In my head, I'm thinking like, nigga, I already heard you on this bitch. I could really write the verse for you. But he's like, no, bro. They be like, they really like, man, look, that's your sound. Like, you the only one that hear that shit.
Okay, real.
And me and Soul was like this. So he know how my brain works.
Okay, and he know how Joe gonna come in and he know how to make his voice go. Real. Okay, so being that, real quick, I want to take a quick detour. Shout out to Tommy Rouge because he shouted you out on the pod that me and him did, and he said that he and this goes back to just what you saying about being a creative, ideal guy, trying to be an executive producer, trying to be someone that knows how to put music together. He told me you gave him advice about hooks. Talk to me about that. Like he said, once you told him about how to do hooks, it was over for niggas. Like he started to make things more catchy because he was telling me that you said like on one of his songs about how you rap really well. I get the message, but it's just verses continuing in the verses. There's no transition. There's no gotta make it catchy to niggas. Talk to me about that advice you gave him.
Damn, I forgot.
Yeah, he told you that's a gem he gave on the pod. I had to bring that back up, and I felt like that was the perfect time.
Well, my thing with hooks is like I hear the melody first because I'm like, that's what's gonna catch people anyway. You know what I'm saying? People so used to getting so much substance, they either used to getting so much of like just bleh, or if you hit them with so much substance, like I was telling them, because like that nigga really be spitting. I'm like,
yeah,
if you just keep spitting, it's just gonna keep like be a verse. You gotta hit them with something that not only catches their ear, like, oh shit, this sound nice. But if you spitting, they're gonna be like, oh fuck, hold up, when they run it back again.
No, that was great advice.
So, like for me, like going back to God said, that part where I'm like, just needed you to love me, but you played it like for me. I only heard da 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 da, and then I could just go back in and fill in the words.
Real, okay.
It's a game of manipulation and all that.
Being that you have such great ear, have you ever considered like later in your career about scoring movies? Because I feel like that could be something you could do.
So look here, you on that?
Did I stumble on something? Did I stumble on something already in the works? You can't say that. Yeah, I'm gonna put the air horns in the back right here too. Fuck yeah, my nigga. Look, don't say no more because I already know what type of business, what type of time movies and shit be. But I'm gonna just say congratulations now. All right, let's keep it pushing because like I said, I don't wanna fuck nothing up because I know how movie studios are because I deal with agents and shit to come up pods. I know how them niggas NDAs and all kind of crazy shit. So you go to Trust next, kind of, I'm not going to say slowing it down, but kind of giving I feel like this song is the breather before we get to the banger Knock Knock.
Yeah. So what happened with that one is Christian sent that bit. He sent that bit in. And when I heard it, immediately I was like, an old 90s song, when that knocking the boots is I was like, I was in it. I was like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna hit that bitch. And so then I just got to thinking, and I was like, I just kept hearing, told you I was passing up Highland, but really I'm just stuck up in my driveway. And so I just kept going with that bit. And then at first that song was gonna be on some like, man, why you don't fuck with a nigga? But I was like, so I already make a song like, you don't trust me. I was like, let me flip it on the other side and talk as the toxic nigga.
Yeah. Giving us that super toxicity with niggas leave. Fuck them hot girl summers. It's a cold boy winter.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Cause like it was one of them parts I even shocked myself. It was like, but you care for it, don't you think that's fair though? Like, man, I'm taking care of you, man. What you worry about this other shit for? You know what I'm saying? And so when you listen to the song, if they listen to it on first rip, they thinking like, oh, this is such a sweet song. It's not.
It's not.
It's really me like, whoa, what the fuck?
Dogging it out. Do you like?
That?
Oh no, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm gonna ask it after.
But at the end of that bit, where it's like, thought you drove a Civic while there's stars in the roof, though. Like, especially when you toxic and you see they moving on, you're like, oh, hold up, bitch. You can't be happy without me. What you doing? Like,
that's my shit. Yo, what because you are great at doing that, but you keep that sparingly. Like you put out the toxic when it's time. Why don't you push that button more?
Because a lot of people's daughters would shank me.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't rap.
Well said. I fucking well said. But like, yo, when you put them shits out, toxic king right there. All right, give me the knock knock. This is one of the hardest songs. This is like one of the singles, in my opinion. This is where you getting in your bag of like, all right, this is in the vein of like a, just how when those R&B people put out the one that's like, okay, this is gonna be played in the clubs.
Man, I didn't know that one was a banger until I said to somebody else. I thought I was just making another album song.
Real.
And then I sent it back to Christian because Christian might beef for that bitch. He was like, bro, this a club banger. I was like,
yeah. It's not no B-side.
Look, I'm in my head, I'm thinking the club bangers, I'm, bow, bow, bow. So I ain't thinking this bitch a club banger like that. So I'm like, oh, hold up. And so how I made the fucking song was I couldn't come up with anything, any lyrics or nothing. I'm in here, I closed the door. My nephew come and knock on the door, like legit. He come and knock on the door, and so I'm like, "What the fuck?" He had dropped me off some. I think he like baked some cookies or some shit, and he gave them to me. And then so I was like, "Wait, hold up."
Knock. Yeah,
who that is? Yeah,
yeah. Hell yeah, that's crazy how organically that happened. Shout out to your nephew, because if not, we don't know if we'd have got that one. So then we transitioned to All Right, 225 to 619, and then That's Gonna Get You. That's a great little couplet right there. That's I think That's Gonna Get You. That's the Latino one, huh? Or is that's I'm Right There?
Which one? You talking about the one with the
I'm talking about with the guitar we have with the Latin guitars.
Oh, that's Can't Hurt the Ex.
Yeah, goddamn. I knew that was after Just My Friend. I was tripping. All right, well, yeah, give me through that couplet of All Right, 225 to 619, and That's Gonna Get You. To me, 225 to 619 is crazy. That's my shit.
All Right, that one's by Gibbs, and the crazy part is it's a flip of a song that I have that's not out. That the song.
Will I know when I hear the song? I'm guessing in October. Will we know that's the flip? Oh, okay, real. Well, whenever that comes out, will we know that it's a flip? Will we be able to tell?
No.
You gonna have to let us know.
He did an amazing job on that one. But the song that he flipped, that bit, if I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If I sold that song right now to a major artist, that bitch would be number one.
Oh, why that bitch not out yet? Are you trying to do something with that?
I'm just waiting on it. That's one of the ones like when you playing spades.
You gotta hold you. Yeah, okay.
Like,
I'm waiting till I just bow on you, nigga. Yeah. Okay, yeah, 100%. All right, for sure. But that
was about. That was right when the protests and all that shit happened.
Okay.
So when all that shit happened, my partner, one of my partners, he not even a street nigga. He just sent me a snap of him with a Mac 11. I'm like, what the fuck you need a Mac 11 for? He's like, bro, it's wild out shit.
Yeah, I gotta protect myself.
And I'm like, shit, he right. And so I'm just like, with everything going on and shit like that, I was thinking of like,
I gotta touch on that.
Marvin Gaye and shit.
Yeah.
You know how Marvin Gaye made it.
What's going on? Mercy, mercy me. Yeah. How he was talking about the Vietnam. Now that you say that, that song hit more for me because that is 1,000% that vibe. And Mercy, What's Going On is my favorite Marvin Gaye album. So like I fuck with that even more so now. And that's something that I wish R&B singers did more of, like disguise political conscious shit into something that sounds super sweet and super melodic.
And you can keep listening to it.
And it's not something where it's like a rapper when they do it to where it gets dulled out.
I didn't want to say anything too current.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I was like, the same story, different character, it leaves you hopeless. Like that one, you're always going to watch the news and it's going to be the same shit. The person in it. But, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be comforting with also bringing shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
letting people know what it is.
After that one was 225-619. Shout out to Christian for the beating shit.
He killed that one.
So I came in and I was just like, I gotta have something BR as fuck. And so I was just like, I just was going in. That was about it.
Yeah, that one's dummy. That one is super, super dummy. Okay, so then we get to That's Gonna Get You. I feel, and that's why we slow it down a little bit right there too.
So That's Gonna Get You is a flip of Deja.
Okay.
And so basically, I'm talking to the dude on that bit. Like, hey, must think it's cool trying to play me like I'm pussy. Like, chill out.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna get you. What the? I fuck with that. Hell yeah. Okay, so then we get to I'm Right Here. Talk to me. That just the one right before my two fate. Like, them next two is my shits. I'm ready to talk about them, but we got to get to I'm Right Here first.
That one, Gibbs made the beat, and when he made the beat, I heard it, and I'm like, hold the fuck on. Like, that bitch I'm talking about was beautiful, so I'm just like, let me just glide on this bitch. And so it's basically talking about an acid trip.
Okay, real.
That's all it is.
100%. Just
your
experience.
Say I'm on acid.
But
So-
yeah, no, I get you. That's when I gotta go re-listen to now that I know that for sure and see what I hit different. But just my friend, yo, you ate on that bitch. You hit him with the. I love the robotic auto-tune voice in the beginning. Then you bust out the real. Nah, bro, that shit is hard as fuck. And then transition into the Spanish joint. You was on one with them two. Like you was on one for real. Them shits is nuts.
So Just My Friend was the first song recorded off the whole project. I recorded that one back waiting on Joe Grandboy to drop.
I'm so happy this got released because this one is amazing.
So what happened was, it was one of my homegirls, because at the time I was still dealing with a couple of my exes. And so she just kind of like, hey, like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, why you going back doing this?
Yeah, fuck them hoes.
And so that's why I was like, you think you just my friend? Like, getting on her like, yeah, you talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm with
But
you
you're not making no move.
Right, like,
Yeah.
man, go with your move or shut up.
Let's get it popping or sit down. You know what I mean?
Right.
1000%. Who made that beat?
That was me.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So the last three is me.
Okay, I figured that's a Joe one. And then so did you play the Spanish guitar in the next one? Because that shit is amazing. When I heard that, I was like, my nigga on some Santana shit. Or did you sample that?
I played the trap. So Just My Friend originally was called Trap Tony Braxton.
Okay,
But I played that one.
fits so well.
I played the outro, but the Santana one, the sample.
Okay,
And when I heard it, I was like, I gotta do this.
Talk to me about that. Like, was that just like I gotta put it? Like you said, it sounds so good that I gotta like. Anytime you hear those type of guitars, not everybody can do it, but when the person can do it and it sounds, that song is fucking amazing. Honestly, that's probably gonna be the world premiere, and Just My Friend probably gonna be the outro because I really love that sample and I love how you handled that sample.
So when I heard it, I was like, this sounds like some old Spanish shit, but I already got a song in the works with Cali Kilo where I did it in like full Spanish. Like
Real. I'm glad you didn't do this one in full Spanish too.
Because I was like, I can't do that. And so I'm just listening to it. And I was like, for some reason, the first thing I'm hearing in my head, and I hate that this person is a terrible person, but when I heard it, I was like, 7 o'clock in the morning and the rays from the sun wakes me. I was like, I'm going to make a version of that. I'm gonna do my own Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm going through my head. I'm like, all right, what has happened to me to where I can talk
Make
about
this
that?
a story. Yeah.
So all I can say is the story is based upon true events.
Hell yeah. Yo,
And
that shit is nuts. Like when you hear that, it's like, whoa, my nigga done went through some shit with these hoes. And then you close it out with the outro, which is just a straight up banger. Like it's like, all right, I'm showing y'all niggas, I dropped 2 albums this year. I'm in and out hard. We not in and out on no soft shit.
That one, when I made it, it was after draft day.
Shout out to Clyde. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I started off. Last night I turned the TV on, they talking about my dog. And so, when I did that one and then I kept going, and it's also once I found out about my nephew, that's why I was like, Mama, I'm sorry, I can't stay. I got a dream to figure out. And then at the end, I was just on niggas' necks, basically.
Yeah.
And I was
1,000.
just like, fuck it, I got to say something.
How did it feel that moment when you saw your homie get drafted, especially to the Super Bowl winning champs? Like this Negro is set up to win rings. I'm happy for Clyde, man, especially after how Niggas was talking down on his name at the beginning of the LSU season. Halfway, he turns into a different monster.
They
And then,
you know, if he was gonna start,
yeah,
yes,
talking about niggas that don't even deserve to play, and then comes out this nigga is the reason why they win the championships, and again he running through Alabama. He the one that's pulling the load. Like, of course Joe did his thing, but when push came to shove against these difficult teams, it was him. And then he gets drafted, to me, in the perfect situation with Pat Mahomes, because they need a running back and they need a pass catching back especially. How did that feel, is like seeing your friend accomplish his dream?
See, niggas don't understand that me and that man have went through real life shit together. You know what I'm saying? We done been through real life situations, not just, oh yeah, I know this man. Like, nah, we done been through
real life
shit. Some shit I can't speak on, like shit like that.
Yeah,
like, we always been there for each other. Like, always been there for each other. You know what I'm saying? When he first got to high school, he was getting offers and shit like that, and people just was kind of talking to him different. I always kept
it real.
Said the same things with him. You know what I'm saying? I never really brought up their side. Like, for the longest, we didn't talk about stuff like that, because I was like, man, everybody talk to this man about that. Like,
yeah, like if we real friends, like like I don't care about that. Like, I care about you, the person.
Yeah, and so when it happened, I was watching the draft, and I'm on the phone with my brother, and I'm talking to my brother, and for some reason his thing was ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it was around pick 25. I'm like, pick 25. Damn, they passed up on him. When the Ravens picked Patrick Queen over Clyde, I was like, fuck, they could have used a running back.
Facts.
When the Bucs traded they pick, I was like, God damn, son. But I talked to this man before, which is the crazy part. I always talk before big moments. For some reason, we always speak to each other.
You always communicate, yeah.
And so I asked him, I was like, bro, how you doing? He's like, man, I'm at peace. And I was like, bro, I fucks with it. And so it was around like pick 29, my brother telling me who getting picked and shit like that. Out of nowhere, my phone blowing the fuck up. I'm talking about bing, 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 people hitting me up. This before I even knew the pick came out. I'm like, what the fuck? Then my brother goes, because my brother's a Chargers fan. He's like,
he
Joe.
said, fuck.
he like, Joe. I'm like, what? He's like,
my team is fucked.
He's like, we finna be rivals, because I've been saying, I was like, whatever team Clyde get drafted to, I'm finna be a fan of it.
Yeah,
he
facts.
Like, we finna be rivals. I was like, what? And then out of nowhere, Clyde, it was, he like, man, when I tell you, I ran screaming. I was like, bro, this man really went first round. And I was like,
he deserved it.
I'm telling everybody, because, you know what I'm saying? You know, niggas be hyping the nigga up like, yeah, man, my nigga the best. I was like, man, I was like, I don't know. I got a feeling this nigga going first round. Because, you know, none of the shit said he going first round. I'm like, I got a feeling this nigga finna go first round. Man, that shit happened. And I was excited, but it was when they posted that video of when he found out. Bro, I broke down when I saw that video. Because, like
all the moments that y'all experienced just started running through your head.
And the shit this nigga went, bro.
All the times where y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna make it, any injuries he occurred, any times y'all was in some deep shit, like all that start probably running, and it's just like, my nigga made it. I'm sincerely proud of a friend.
I'm talking about, I remember this man, when he first got his offer, he was like, bro, I'm gonna just use it to get my degree. I'm like, bro, you can go to the league.
Yeah.
Next, you know, he get to college. He like, man, if I get to the league, I can do 4 years, get my retirement. I'm like, bro, you're gonna be an actual
star.
And then just it was.
And see, you know what? He gonna feel the same way when you get a record deal, you drop that amazing album. He gonna be like, my nigga did it.
Like, he was the first person to ever like my music.
See, yeah, that's gonna be some lit shit.
Family, anything like that. My shit was trash back then, and he had heard it. He was like, "Look, it need work, but like I see it."
That's a fire relationship. That's a fire relationship. Shout out to Clyde, man. You deserve everything. But yo, your brother is fucked. That team not winning no time soon. The Chargers is ass. Oh shit! Tell the people real quick before we get to the second part of the interview where to find the album at.
You can find the album on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. This is the first time it's on any streaming platform you can think of.
Hell yeah!
Any streaming platform. Just type in Deuce's Uncle. It's right there.
Or y'all can search DeSean, capital D-E, capital S-E-A-N, DeSean Deuce's uncle. Y'all make sure y'all get that. Y'all make sure y'all go buy that. Support my brother because he put in good work and he deserves all the love he can get. Man, what's been going on? What you been watching, man? Any new TV shows, any new movies to keep you entertained during this quarantine process?
Bro, mostly I've been working. On music and shit. But I've been, that Moesha. Man, I've been watching the fuck out of Moesha.
Yo, I know you gonna have some shit, some musical shit referencing the shit going down in Moesha. Because they be doing some wild shit.
I've been watching that. I've been reading. I did
What you been reading?
What a book is. It's like Jim and Louise it's like Jim and Louise love potion or some shit like that. Some shit like that.
Some romantic shit, real.
Yeah, kind of like that. But I started watching Tokyo Ghouls.
Solid. That's a great anime. That's a great anime for you specifically as an R&B singer because it's like it's got violence, it's got love, the deeper philosophies behind it about the human like psyche and how humans act and like, oh man, when you get to that season finale, that shit gonna blow your mind for season 1.
I've been watching that shit. I've been keeping up with the sports and shit like that.
Who you got in the NBA playoffs?
I'm a Thunder fan, but I
man, look, I really think y'all should win that round. Like y'all's team is slept on like a motherfucker, but what Chris Paul has done for y'all, what Danilo Gallinari has done for y'all, what y'all really need is Shai Gilgeous to step up and be that man he's supposed to be. If Shai would step up, y'all would win. But I think Shai is a year to 2 years not ready yet.
I was just gonna say that bit young.
Yeah,
he made a big jump.
He did, but he just
I thought we was gonna be a lottery team.
I did too, but what Chris Paul did and how Chris Paul got his mind right, Shai is 2 to 3 years away from really making y'all have a big impact. So who you got winning it all since the Thunder not doing that?
Oh, Lakers.
Man, the Clippers gonna beat their ass.
The Clippers are, man, look here. If it wasn't for the fact Luka got a bum leg, like come on, son.
Nah, bro, but look, same thing for LA, man, if Dame wasn't hurt. Because AD don't have no dog in him. AD don't have no dog in him. AD is just talented. Like, AD don't have the killer mentality to be like, oh, yeah, I'm getting 50 and nobody can guard me. Because that's how he should be, because nobody can guard him. But he let Nurkic do a little something on his ass. That's LeBron team. LeBron dominating.
I was just going to say, man, look, AD just needs to do his job. You know what I'm saying? He got the killer on side.
And then on top of that, they don't have enough depth. Like, who...
Oh, yeah, that bit Avery Bradley, Ron.
Yeah, that hurt, bro. Like, the Clippers coming off the bench with sweet Lou Will and Montrez dropping trips, and then you got fucking Reggie Jackson and Schmidt and Landry Shamet dropping threes.
They made a glass.
We gonna see.
There's only one killer on that team.
Who? Oh, Kawhi for sure. Well, Lou a killer.
They got JR.
They
got JR. They got Dion. All of them. That's basically the same thing you're getting from Lou. Even though Lou the greatest six man.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Lou better than them two bum ass niggas. Yeah. But
they coming off the bench could give you 30.
If the Clippers don't win it, I actually got it coming out of the East because I think Miami's fucking tough.
I was just gonna say, hey, that bitch Jimmy Bucket's turn.
Yeah, yo.
Kill him.
I love Miami, bro. Them two white boys is kicking ass. Like Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Yo.
I'm talking about every time.
Them niggas is and then Bam Adebayo. Oh, look, as good as the Celtics are, as good as the Bucks are, I think Miami coming out the East. I really, truly believe that.
The Bucks are gonna make it to the East Conference Finals.
I think the Bucks will make it to East. Man, Miami whooping their ass. Because my thing is...
I was just going to say, they ain't making it to the East Conference Finals. The East Conference Finals is going to be... If the brackets... If I think the shit right, it's going to be Celtics
it's going to be Celtics and the Bucks. Yeah, look. I don't think the Bucks making it. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, shit. I forgot about the Raptors. Them niggas good as a bitch.
But see, I think what's going to hurt the Raptors is, and with the Celtics and the Miami got an edge up on them, in that fourth quarter, when it's clutch time, you go to a LeBron, you go to a Harden, you go to a Jimmy Bucket, you go to a Jason Tatum. Who do they go to? Fred VanVleet or Kyle Lowry or Pascal? Like, they don't have nobody they can go to in the moments. That's why I think Miami and the Celtics gonna be the Eastern Conference Finals, and then one of them two gonna go play one of the LA teams. And I wouldn't be surprised if the East win it this year. Who you got? Oh, I know who you got winning in football, of course. Of course. All right, well,
Deuce 5.
1,000%. 1,000%. Man, so what's been keeping you occupied besides work? You've been cooking, like in this quarantine, did you discover something new?
I've been exercising like a motherfucker.
Real, hitting the weights, getting that sex symbol status on.
I'm trying, but the problem is I look like I'm fucking fresh out of jail. You know what I'm saying? I can't get rid of this football body. Like I can't. Like
I feel
like
you.
a linebacker. I can't. Even if I slim down, I'm gonna just look like a linebacker. Like,
every time I lose weight, I just get bulked up the foot. Like it's not even like ripped. It's just like big nigga shit.
Right, nigga, look at this, son. I look like I don't got no neck, like because of these fucking shit. Like I can't get rid of this shit. This shit muscle memory. I be trying.
I know what you mean.
Like,
you done worked out that part of your body too much to where that's what it is. No, I get that.
Shit, what else? I was cooking today. I just put a brisket on.
Hell yeah, you barbecuing?
Yeah, we're doing brisket, chicken, and ribs.
Fuck yeah. You got a secret seasoning blend or you got a secret sauce? What's up?
Man, I got my little base stuff, you know what I'm saying?
1,000.
What I put on that brisket? I put a little salt and pepper with garlic, and then I got this little bovine rub that my dad bought. I put that, we injected that bit. What we put in that injection? We just put it was fucking funny. We injected that bit.
Man, you gotta add some cayenne, some brown pepper, brown sugar to your rub.
Man, I got that. You know what I'm saying? That's given. I'm trying to think about the extra shit.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I was about to say my nigga from the South didn't say no cayenne, no brown sugar.
That's given though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you right. I'm tripping on it. Hell yeah, nigga. Next time you come to the booth, man, and we gotta do a little barbecue party, man, and invite all the homies, Tommy, Jira, Old Spanish, Trey Lewis, and invite everybody through.
I love seeing what they doing back home, man.
And do a big barbecue with all the homies and do like a bros who think like everybody get together.
Hell yeah.
That shit would be lit as fuck.
I can't wait to come home. I can't wait.
And speaking of that, before we get you out of here, what was it like? Because I think BR had a big day because you and Adam Dollars dropped on the same day. And just talk to me about, and shout out to Adam because his project is dope. We're going to get him on the pod very, very soon. Talk to me about the growth of BR music because like you just said, the 45 fellas doing it. 45 and the fellas, shout out to Old Spanish, shout out to Miracle, shout out to Cobain, yeah, shout out to my nigga Cobain, shout out to Jira, shout out to Trey Lewis, shout out to Tommy Rouge, like BR, shout out to Adam, like shout out to Jose Xavier, shout out to Jazz Bandito, like Jazz dropped the Truth album, that God Bless GD, that shit is hard as fuck, like all of BR is killing it right now, and if I miss somebody, I apologize, there's just so many people. How do you feel about the growth of Baton Rouge music, especially since it doesn't sound like that traditional Webby, Boosie sound? It sounds like y'all are y'all own entity. Y'all are like becoming something new. Oh, shout out to D Shaw 225. That white boy out of Zachary is killing it. Shout out to D Shaw. That nigga can spit.
But I fucking love it, son. I fucking what it was when my album dropped, and it might not have meant that much to him, but when that bitch Joe Scott reposted my shit, son, I was like. Bro, I remember when I was first coming up, that was the only person I was looking towards. Like, all right, cool. He not on that shit. Like, he not on that type of wave. He doing his own type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Performing a varsity with a band with him. I'm like, yeah, Adam doing a show with Adam. He took me aside and was like, hey, look, I fuck with your music, but this is how you need to fix your set. He's like, Michael, hey, look, giving shit like that. So we're seeing everybody win like that. That shit fucking great. Like when we was first back in the G, we was trying to do the Swamp Tales.
Yeah.
Shit like that. All that
shit. Caleb just dropped too. Shout out to Caleb.
Yeah, you know, when I see everybody winning like that, that shit's so great because
shout out to Josh Simmons and Cul-de-sac. Like y'all got so much talent in BR, man. Like it's nuts.
And the thing that I'm thinking is, that means the next generation gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They got so much more shit to look up to.
And literally, all it takes is like one of y'all to blow up. It's gonna have that Chicago effect where if like let's say you blow up, then it just gonna shine light to where like how when Keith blew up, it was like Dirk, Reese, all them niggas.
Like, oh shit, what
else they got here?
Exactly.
No, 1,000%. Louisiana's time is coming, and I think more so than New Orleans and Lafayette, I think y'all gonna be leading the pack. And that's a call out to all the Lafayette artists. That's a call out to all the New Orleans artists. Like I want to hear y'all
because they got dope
y'all. Oh yeah, like Lafayette got hella dope niggas. New Orleans got hella dope niggas. I just think the cream of the crop is coming from BR. Whether it's you, Jira, Adam Dollars, Tommy Rouge, Trey Lewis, Old Spanish, Miracle, Michael Armstead, Caleb Brown, Jose Xavier, Jazz Bandito, like this girl named Darylyn, there's Maddie Swan, like they got so many just talented people in Baton Rouge.
I do know her.
She killed it, man. She did some shit on Jose Xavier albums that's super dope. I need to get on the pod, but thank you, DeSean, my brother. Every time you come on the pod, I love it. And we're going to have you back come October because it's always a good time to hear how you progress and whatnot. Tell the people.
Every time I do something, I got to come in. I got to show love here because you show love me back when really ain't nobody know. You was really one of the first one when it was me and Josh when they put it in the song.
Yep, and we put that shit on the network.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that shit was lit, bro. That was my shit. You already know we showing love always for the culture. For the culture, by the culture, for the preservation and progression of said culture. That's my motto, and I will keep it 1,000. We will support you with every release you got. Tell the people they can find you on social media, my brother.
You can find me at Joe Grandboy. That's JoeGrandboy on Instagram. You can find me at _BBYJoe on Twitter. And if you want to look me up on any not social media, on any streaming platform, is DESEAN, capital D, lowercase e, capital SEAN.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow DeSean everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, and y'all make sure y'all get that album because, like I said, Deuce's Uncle is in the Album of the Year category. If y'all like Joe's Grandboy, y'all will love Deuce's Uncle. Again, thank you for coming on the pod, my brother. It's always a good time having you. But with that being said, let's get into Bros Who Ball. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a second interview this episode because it's crucial. It's necessary. It has to happen. If you heard our podcast last week, you understand how serious Hurricane Laura was. And even if you didn't, I know you see the news. I know you see what's going on. And it's in my spirit that I had to have this guest on the pod to talk about what's going on in Louisiana, but more specifically in Lake Charles, in the Lake Charles area, because they need help, they need assistance, and they honestly need the eyes on them because the world is acting like Laura didn't happen. And it's kind of perplexing to me that we don't have more people helping. This was a Katrina level hurricane, and we're not getting Katrina level assistance, at least from where I'm sitting, from where I'm looking. But let's ask the woman who is here, who knows the situation, who knows what's going on. If you're new to the Bros Who Think podcast, she is a reoccurring guest, even though we haven't chopped it up in a long time, and we talked about this off air about why we haven't, but it's all Gucci. We got my girl Bre Rob in the building. I say she's a BWT affiliate. She is a bro. Everybody knows what's going down, and anytime we need a woman's advice on this show, this is the first person I call. And I'm excited to have you back on the pod. We just talked. We said we gonna gossip like we always do in the future. But right now we gotta handle business because it's serious business. How you doing, Bre?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better.
Yeah.
To the listeners and the viewers that have never experienced a hurricane, it's a lot. It's mentally a lot to like just have to move away from home for maybe a few days to even a few months, you never know. And then, mentally seeing how your home has been, destroyed, or even places by your home has been destroyed. It's kind of like mentally, you gotta, prepare yourself for that. So, But I've been better since the past week or so. So that's the great thing. Yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about this though.
Yeah, no, we got to. And and I'm glad to hear that you're doing better because like I tell everybody who comes on, when they ask me how I'm doing, I say as well as I can be inside of this COVID, inside of the fight for racial equality. And on top of all of that, we got to deal with hurricanes galore, and Hurricane Laura devastated your city. I want to get your take on what you are doing, why you are here, and let's discuss that. Just because before we even get to that, how do you feel about there not being a lot of eyes on Lake Charles? Because it's kind of it's kind of dumbfounding to me.
So I really don't know. Because we haven't really went through this kind of like Katrina level experience. Thankfully, we didn't get the storm surge that we were expected to get, because that would definitely have gotten us to Katrina level. I think aftermath-wise, we're kind of with them, not as much, but to a certain extent as the way the government has handled it. So I don't want to take anything from their experience, because I know people who have slept on bridges and all of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't want to, take any, none of that. I don't know. I would want the world to talk more about it. I'm not big on profiting off of people's pain, though.
Facts.
That's just something I've never been about. I don't want to talk about. Maybe we're not getting enough media coverage because maybe a lot of people didn't die. I don't really know. But the death toll continues to rise every day because you find people in their houses or people from carbon monoxide poisoning. So, it's just so much. But I really don't know. I really don't know how I feel about that. I would like to, I've been using myself as someone to go on to, national stages, international stages, to talk to people about the hurricane and the aftermath. But for the most part, I don't know. We just need the help. We need the funds. We need the hands, all hands on deck, on the ground.
Especially since y'all aren't a rich city like a New Orleans. Y'all aren't a city that is as well funded as New Orleans. But I gotta say, y'all are a community that looked out for each other. The amount of stuff you've seen on social media from you telling people to get to buses, get here. In the evacuation rate I heard from Lake Charles was high. I heard a lot of people actually listened, followed through. So talk to me about what you've been doing, because you have been an activist for your city. You've been on ABC News. You have been fighting to get your city funding. Tell me everything about what you've been doing, and then when you finish, I want to know where they can go to help.
So I'm not going to tell you everything, because there's still some stuff I'm working on. That's what I'm going to say. I'm always working. So far, I have been working with my beautiful branding boss, Alea Jackson. She has been on go since then. She has helped raise maybe thousands of dollars.
Hell yeah.
For families, for mothers, for people who have been affected by the storm, to stay in hotels, to help with recovery, to help with relief, all of that stuff. So applause to her. I've been working with her and Khadijah and just a beautiful group. Shay, Emerald, Lakin. It's so many beautiful women. Nate. It's just so many beautiful people that I've worked with. I can't take it. It's not just me.
Yeah.
It's been so many other people that have been, especially on the ground. Shout out to Miss Diana, Miss Javon at the health center. You have Brandon, who's been helping them with news footage and pictures. It's just so many people I can't.
But that goes back to what I was saying about how Lake Charles, y'all banded together and y'all was a community. Yeah, man.
I can't take it. Just know I'm working on stuff still, because it's going to be so many months into maybe a year for us to really recover, because I don't know if y'all have seen the pictures from Lake Charles.
It's sad, man. I was heartbroken.
It looks different.
When I saw
never been through
buildings, just building after building, business after business, just destroyed. Not even I'm not talking a window, but no, I'm talking roof gone, floor destroyed.
They had a Golden Corral that opened in January. It closed in March. It was supposed to open literally the day of the hurricane. It's destroyed.
Jesus.
There's no, and I personally don't like Golden Corral, but my heart goes out to them, because I worked at a place where their customers, their employees would always frequent. So I know how it is with COVID not to have, as much funds, or to lose money, or whatever the case may be. Now they don't have a place of employment no more.
Yeah.
So it's just so sad on so many levels and so many ways. And honestly, working with the people I've been working with to help has really like healed my heart from what I had to see personally and what I witnessed personally. That has helped me in the most.
What can the people listening, what can myself, what can we do to help Lake Charles?
So donate. That's one of the biggest things, especially if you can't move around, if you just don't want to move around because of COVID. Donate. There's 3 foundations I am pushing people to donate to. SWLA Center for Health Services, which is a nonprofit in my community of North Lake Charles. We have the Community Foundation of Southwest Louisiana. They've been getting some really good donations. Elon Musk actually donated to them from his foundation. And they're also a nonprofit that will be helping with relief and recovery efforts in Southwest Louisiana. And it's not just Lake Charles, it's also literally like the whole parish. The whole parish got it the same, like
Jennings or everywhere. That's sulfur, everything to that left side of like
left and right. It just looks horrible. It just looks horrible. It looks like 100 tornadoes just span through and just kind of ripped everything. So that and the Democratic Socialists of Southwest Louisiana, they have been helping with aid on the ground. They've been helping with clearing out trees, clearing out yards, helping people with debris, all of that good stuff. So please help those 3 organizations, as well as there's different people like me, Alea, a friend Kayla Simeon, Ashley Alfred, Elena Lamel. There's so many people that are collecting funds for people to stay in hotels, to just cash at them to help them, because we need that.
Yeah, y'all need that 1,000%. And we're gonna put all the links to every place Bre just said in the link of this podcast. It'll be in the link on YouTube. It'll be like, I'm not even bothering putting our socials. It's about donating to these people and helping these people. That's the reason why I brought you on this pod, because when we talked, I just felt like I needed to use my voice and my platform. If anything, if I can't get on the ground along with my money, I need to use my voice and to help push this along. So all the websites will be in the descriptions on the video at YouTube, in Spotify, in Apple Pod, wherever you listen to. And if you follow us on Twitter, we will be tweeting this until things get better. So just make sure you follow. So yeah. So what advice would you have for people that just experience this to kind of heal their mental health and to get their minds back to where it can be, like you said, better?
Stay off social media for a day. Like, just kind of detox. Make it a day where you can, like, for me, I went to go get my nails and toes done. For you, it might be going to a park, going to work out. Something, just kind of like exhale and inhale. Like, just exhale everything that's going on with the hurricane and inhale everything positive that will make you happy. That's like the best thing to do. Even if you still have to like answer calls or answer texts or check something here and then, just kind of give yourself more time to breathe and do more positive things than anything else. Also, it literally just came to my mind. I don't know. But just take your time. Like, take your time. Everyone mourns, grieves, goes through stuff in different ways. Stuff will come back to me and I'll get sad. And then something will come back to me and I'll get happy again. So we all kind of, this is us mourning our city, but also at the same time, you have to realize this is the perfect opportunity for us to rebuild it for the next generation,
Yeah, 100%. And this is a new time to bring new businesses in, use that community love and strength that y'all have to grow it, to get it to the place to where everybody can feel safe, everybody can feel secure, and everybody can feel that they're welcomed here and it's a big family. And the fact that y'all was pushing the buses and everything that I saw pre-storm just shows how tightly knit a community y'all are. So that's something that I want to see continue from y'all, because y'all got it. Tell the people again one more time, Bre, where they can find all these links and everything. Just tell them real quick the places they can donate.
I'm going to tell you, honestly, just check my socials. Check underneath the video, SWLA Center for Health Resources. They also need all hands on deck. So if you guys can go out to Lake Charles to go help them, that would be amazing too. Them the Community Foundation of Southwest Louisiana and the Democratic Socialists of Southwest Louisiana, as well as individual efforts who are going to be helping people with personal aid, as well as aiding to those foundations.
Tell them where they can find you at on social media as well, Bre.
You can find me on Instagram at Bre Robinson with 2 N's, Twitter with 3 N's, and yeah, that's it.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow Bre. Again, I will put the links to all the places you should donate in the YouTube description, in the podcast description, and we will be running it with our Twitter, like I said, until. Thank you so much, Bre, for coming on. We're gonna have you on when circumstances are better, of course, because like we talked about off air, we gotta chop it up. Yeah, they got a lot of.
We gotta catch up. And
yeah,
we gotta get Brooklyn on this.
He gonna be. Look, I'm gonna tell his ass you said what's up. He is in the part before this, so I'm gonna tell him that we talked. We're gonna definitely chop it up, and you gotta meet our new co-host Doom. That nigga is a clown.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Bre, for coming on the pod. Let's finish up the show with Bros Who Ball. Want to send a thank you to both Bre and DeSean, a.k.a. Baby Joe, for coming on the pod. Y'all make sure y'all go check out DeSean's new album, Deuce's Uncle, as well as go down in the links of the YouTube video, go down to the description of the YouTube video, as well as in Spotify or Apple or SoundCloud. Go to the description, look at the places that Bre asked for people to donate because Lake Charles needs our help. We need to help Lake Charles because they're devastated right now. Please donate if you can. If not, try to go donate your time, but money would help a lot. There are a lot of people out there that are displaced. This hurricane is just as bad. Well, let me not say just as bad. This hurricane is Katrina level destruction. The only thing it didn't have was the surge, and these people are without homes. They're without money. They're without food. They need our help. We have to help Lake Charles. They don't have the national coverage that Katrina had. So please, in the description below, if you can donate, even if it's just $5, please just help Lake Charles. We will do our part as a network, and I'm going to donate on behalf of the network for sure. And I'm going to help promote this as much as I can. But with that being said, it's time to talk hoops, baby. Bros Who Ball is back. We were off last week in coordination with the NBA. Schubert was like, bro, they're protesting, so we might as well not do sports this week and honor what they're doing. And I think he was absolutely right. So joining me at the bottom, we got Adam Schubert. And to my left, my brother, Jay Boogie, a.k.a. Justin. Justin, what is good? I'm going to start with you. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just watched 2 great games and watching some great playoffs. So
I gotta say, and I gotta take for why I feel some of these people are balling, and I want to get your perspective on it. But the bubble playoffs have lived up to expectations. They have been amazing. Schubert, I'm gonna come to you now. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Yeah, like you're saying, the bubble playoffs have been pretty great. And they mentioned it in the broadcast, Chris Paul was a part of putting it all together. And, he may not be in the playoffs anymore, but, he should feel really proud of what he was able to arrange and getting the guys on the court.
Yep, and we'll talk about that game because I think Chris Paul and them should have won, but we'll get into that very, very shortly. But before we get into any hoops, because Justin didn't get to give his take on the NBA boycotts, I just want to ask, what were your thoughts on them, Justin, if you have any takes at all?
Yeah, I'm definitely proud for the NBA. First off, I want to give huge props to the Bucks for starting it off. Because without them, we wouldn't be here. So I just want to give props to the Bucks and to the NBA, and then to all the sports for following them. Making a stand that showing that this is a serious issue in the world.
Yep.
And I think we'll make progress. I think the players, they can get to the owners. I really feel like they're trying to work out a plan. They're trying to do better. So I'm just kind of disappointed how it went by so fast. So they were off 3 days and basketball started. But
I think, and we could talk about that real quick because that's a point that I talked about in the pod last week in my amendment. But I was like you. I was upset at first that they didn't prolong it, that it wasn't longer than just 2 days. But then when I sat back and thought about it, they have the owners by the balls technically.
Right.
And they can show that, look, if y'all don't help, we can stop. So, and you got to think in the back of your mind, the collective bargaining agreement's coming up to where the owners are going to have control in a little bit. So utilize your power now to get them to say, okay, we're going to do this, 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 hold them to it. And if we don't see progress, then we stop before the collective bargaining agreement comes up. So you got to try to give and take so they can help, as well as we've already seen Dallas have gotten something accomplished. Mark Cuban, his team, and his coach have gotten chokeholds removed from the city. That is 1,000% because of Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks and what that organization has done. So it just shows that when these owners flex their muscles, it won't happen on a federal level because that's not possible. But what can happen is in individual cities and states where these teams are, we can see power flex. I know, for example, in Louisiana, if Miss Benson is the richest person in Louisiana. If Miss Benson tells JBE, look, I'm not paying for this, and if you don't do this, I'm not donating, I'm not doing this, JBE is gonna listen. Mayor Cantrell is gonna listen because that woman has them by the balls, and we saw that with Mark Cuban. So, like you said, I'm proud of the Bucks. I'm proud of the NBA for being the league that just shows players are more than just dribbles. Players are more than just playing their sport. They can actually make change. But at the same time, we can't hold the players to where they're solely responsible. No, it's on you, Justin. It's on me. It's on Schubert. It's on all of us to make a difference in our communities to where we can make this change. The NBA is using their platform to touch more people, but it's now on us, the American public, to make the difference. They just started off, and I'm proud of what they've done. Schubert, go ahead, brother.
The one thing I'll say on it, and you guys know that I have a little behind-the-scenes perspective on what the crazy people are thinking. And my whole thing when the boycott happened was I'm listening to them talk about how they were all happy that they don't have to see BLM on the court. They don't have to see the players.
And that's another reason why they had to come back.
And that's why I personally felt like they needed to go back out there because I felt like they were giving the people who were opposing them exactly what they wanted. They didn't want them to be out there to be able to push a message.
It burns them up. It burns them up. Keeping off the court was just exactly playing into the hand of what the other people who wanted to silence the message. So yep, no, and that's 100% because, and I thought about this too, Justin and Schubert. I was like, well, if they protest, if they don't play, they can just post on Instagram. But I realized that like the people who are on Instagram are kind of the people who agree with them. Like it's the younger generation. And it's the people that are older than us who still watch cable, who see these pregame and postgame pressers and see all these media things where they're talking.
Right.
That's important. Like IG's cool, but that's what's important. Like my mom didn't see some of the stuff the NBA players were saying until she wouldn't have saw it until days later, but she watched it on the news that night or she saw it on SportsCenter. And when she gets things on Facebook, it's 2 days after things have already happened. So it's like, there's a generation of people who rely on cable, and it's more than we would like to believe just because we're on IG. The people that are on IG, for the most part, I'm not going to say, I'll say 60% are kind of aligned with the message. It's the other it's like the 40% on IG who's not, but it's like you got to get the people who aren't on the social medias and aren't on the internets and whatnot. Justin, any final thoughts you got before we get into these games?
No, actually, no, I don't. I just want to applaud you for making that point about, they went home, the message, it wouldn't be as big. And like, you both all thought that, I know me and you both thought that at first that it would be fine if they didn't play, but now that they are playing,
it's needed.
Hear about the backstory. It kind of is big for them to have that platform. So I'm glad that they started I also like watching basketball, so I also
facts.
But it is a good platform for them to still be playing.
And look, they got every arena in the NBA will be used as a voting center now. That's huge. That's huge to stop voter suppression. And that's something that the NBA players accomplished. And again, I believe this wholeheartedly. We won't be able to see the change that the NBA has conducted, not for some years. It's something that's going to have to build. But it's a start. By seeing what Dallas is doing, by seeing voter suppression be curbed by the NBA by using arenas to help vote and providing transportation. That's huge. Those are steps that can lead to solving the bigger issues. But this is not the beginning portion of the show. You came to this portion to listen to us talk about sports, but we wouldn't be us if we didn't mention it like we just did. But let's start off with the game that just ended, that we just watched. I caught the end of it. Justin, you caught the whole thing. Let's start off with and we'll talk about the series as a whole. OKC versus the Rockets. Justin, what did you see in this series from OKC and from the Rockets?
Well, I just seen a gritty OKC team. Those guys, they left it all on the court. They shouldn't be mad. I think they surpassed expectations. They went to Game 7. Chris Paul showed us that he still has some more in the
yes,
tank.
He does.
With him. But, this whole team play. I mean, Shea, he played well.
Shea showed his youth, though, I got to say.
He did. But, that's his first time being in that moment.
For sure.
He has some moments, but he also has some big moments. He hit that big three in the corner.
Yes, he did. That was huge. 1,000%. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Justin. I think they should have won tonight's Game 7. If you look at the final possession of the game before the foul got called in the timeout fiasco, when Steven Adams was on the block, P.J. Tucker was fronting him. All Shea Gilgeous had to do was lob that sucker up, game over. And then I thought Billy Donovan, Shea, and Steven saw that because they were talking. I don't know why he brought guards around them and clogged up the paint, because P.J. Tucker was still fronting him after the timeout. All they had to do was send Chris Paul and all the guards upward, make them do some screen and roll shit up there like they're trying to get a three, have Steven Adams on the block, Shea Gilgeous lob it up, game over.
And that's what if you watch the end of the Heat and Bucks game, that's kind of what the Heat did when they inbounded the ball. I know you guys remember this when I think it was Dragic when he threw the ball up.
Yep.
Up and it almost got stolen, but since it was so much space, he was able to catch it.
Yep. And all he had to do was throw it up. Whereas in that game, there were people of similar heights. Steven Adams was taller than everybody on that court. All he had to do was throw it to a point to where Steven Adams jumps up, catches it, shoots it off the glass, or even dunks it. Because the thing was, P.J. Tucker was not in the play, and he did it the second time, which blew my mind. OKC should have won that game, but you see Shea Gilgeous young. He wasn't experienced for that moment. Chris Paul was gassed. And Chris Paul, if you're not throwing it to Adams on that lob, you should not be throwing it to Adams at the 3-point line. That was just a mistake. Chris Paul should have got it. Schubert, what did you think of this OKC series and the game? You could either talk about the game or the series.
Game 6, I thought that OKC did a really good job of getting back in it and winning the game. It was kind of like a story of how the Rockets play down the stretch, and you could look at from Game 4 on, they were giving up leads the whole way through, and that was Game 6 showed that big time, and again they almost blew it again tonight against OKC. My take on Steven Adams, I'm thinking even a couple plays down the line where he tried to pass it out instead of just going up with it. I mean, when you're the biggest guy on the floor, you got to take advantage of that at times, and exactly. I feel like he was a little bit scared to do that.
And that's something we'll talk about with the Lakers that I know is going to get taken advantage of a lot.
Oh, sure.
The Rockets, to me, showed me their superstars don't have heart. James Harden can't have 15 points in a game. That's a testament to Lou Dortz, who Shea Gilgeous and Lou Dortz.
Bro, he has clamps.
Lou Dortz is going to be something special for OKC. They didn't expect that. That man dropped 30 and was locking up James Harden. Justin, you could either talk about Lou Dortz, but I definitely want to get your take on James. To me, James and Russell, I expected them to come out like dogs, and they came out like puppies.
Game 6, didn't Russell have 20 turnovers?
He had like 10, something like that.
So I'm still kind of giving Russ a pass because he's
injury.
So I'll give him a small pass. But turnovers and stuff, that's still, he still can't do that. And James Harden, I mean, that Game 7, he had 15 points. That's pretty huge because you're averaging 30, man. You give us 15 on game 7. That's huge. So I just think they pulled it out, but if they would have lost that game, it would have been pretty bad. And the Rockets, they hit threes tonight too. They did a good job of hitting. Now they weren't on fire, but they made enough threes.
Yeah.
But just think, next round is going to be a little bit different. The defense will be as good as I don't think that the Lakers are as good on defense as OKC is.
But the thing is, I'm gonna save that take for that. Any final thoughts, Schubert, on Lou Dortz in OKC or James Harden's performance?
Well, I mean, Lou Dortz, that was apparently the most points scored by an undrafted rookie in a playoff.
Yep.
So props to him. He tried to take the last shot at the end.
I think he would have made it.
He could have made it. James Harden, that was a really great block by Harden. I thought Harden.
James Harden got his fingertips on it. He was so lucky.
I mean, that was a play by him.
Yeah, that was a big play. Done. Got to give him props for that. But to me, the Rockets underperformed. I thought they were going to be a dark horse in the West, and now it's looking like they're about to get swept. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's talk about who the true dark horse in the West is now that I think things are different. Let's talk about Denver and Utah series. I thought Donovan Mitchell did everything he could. Donovan Mitchell needs to leave Utah. Donovan Mitchell needs to go to the Bucks and join Giannis and give him an actual closer. And Chris Middleton can be the third option, which he is born to be. But Donovan Mitchell needs to get out of Utah. But to me, what really impressed me in that series was, we've said it since this pod has started, Denver will go as far as Jamal Murray takes them. Yes, Jokic is the star, but they needed a closer and someone to be the bucket getter. And that's Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray has come alive. And I don't know if it's because the bubble doesn't have fans. And Justin, when you play basketball, when you have fans, it's different than when you play in a closed gym. When you play in a closed gym, everybody starts hooping because there's no pressure of seeing your girlfriend. There's your mom and them not there. And I don't know if that's Jamal Murray's strength, but Jamal dropped 42, 42, and 50 all in a row to lead them back from a 3-1 deficit, and they bust Utah's behind. Jamal Murray is finally looking like the second option, and honestly, if we want to be really honest, Denver utilized him as the first option, and Jokic was more of the facilitator, which I think Denver needs to do to progress. Now, I think if this isn't their year, but if Michael Porter develops, or Bol, one of them, they have a big three, and Denver's somebody to look out for. Justin, what did you see from the series? You can either talk from the Utah angle or the Denver angle.
Yeah, so Donovan Mitchell, he's a superstar. He definitely
he is
by the NBA. But I want to just speak on the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, he was just more confident the way he played. He was shooting the ball, just catching the ball and just shooting. He wasn't thinking about it. Even though last game he didn't play too well.
He had 17. He
had some big shots though down the stretch in the fourth quarter. He had some big layups.
And they were double teaming him, which they didn't do before.
So I think they played well. Either both teams, they deserve to go to the second round. It's just that the ball rolled in the Nuggets part of the court. So that's what. But I think both teams are good, and it's gonna be a good second round series.
And look at it. If you look at the box score for the last game, Game 7, Jokic had 30 and 14, which is great. Jamal had 17 and 4, and that third option, Michael Porter, had 10. They're going to need more from Michael Porter if they have any chance of beating the Clippers. But Schubert, what did you see from the Denver Utah series? Talk to me about your future star, Donovan Mitchell, coming to the Knicks. That's what I know Knicks fans believe. And then talk to me about Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I think Donovan Mitchell is definitely top 15, huh?
Oh yeah,
I think if on a majority of teams in the NBA, if Donovan Mitchell was on the team, he'd be the first option.
Yeah, and if you look at young stars, Donovan Mitchell's top 6, top 7. It's Tatum, Doncic.
Hey, Tatum over Doncic?
No, I'm just saying them. I'm just listening. It's Tatum, Doncic, Murray, Booker, and I'd say Tatum, Doncic, Booker, Donovan. Yeah, Donovan would have to be in there. Is there anybody? I'm trying to think of the top 5. Is there anybody I'm missing? That's
talking about what's young? Like
Brandon Ingram's in there. Yeah, Brandon Ingram's in there. Most improved. Jamal's in there. Yeah, no, Donovan's in there, man. Donovan is one of the best young players in the league, and the league has a bright future with him. Schubert, what'd you see from the Denver perspective?
I mean, I thought it was a good series, and I feel like they were evenly matched, but I just feel like this might have been the series of the two worst teams.
Yeah, that's true too.
In my opinion, like I feel
at least
like,
on the West.
Yeah, I'm saying in the West. Yeah, I mean, either one of these teams in the East, they'd probably have a good shot at the conference finals. But
I think they could have maybe beat the Raptors.
Probably could. They have better star power.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to get to that, how star power matters. And that's something I was telling y'all for weeks, and we finally seeing it. And Denver showed that their star power was there. Justin, is there any chance for Denver to beat the Clippers?
I just don't. I just don't see it. Unless if Mitchell goes off again, but
it's a different monster.
Murray,
better defensive team, and they're just a more talented team.
And the thing is, with Murray, they can, let's say, okay, we'll try Patrick Beverly on you. Okay, you're maybe scoring on him. Let's get a little bigger. We'll try Paul George. Okay,
you got different options.
You're scoring on him. Cool. We'll send the Defensive Player of the Year on you in Kawhi Leonard. It's like
it's Giannis though. It's Giannis.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. There's nothing that Murray can do against those three guys. It's like they're gonna send a three-headed monster, and then if they want to get physical, they'll send Marcus Morris to come throw a cheap shot at you.
Yeah, they just have so many bodies that they can throw at them, and the Clippers are so deep.
Mm-hmm.
And if Paul George can find it or start playing better, that team's gonna be scary in the West.
And let's talk about that, since we didn't get to talk about that last week. There was another game closed out. We're gonna talk about all of round one, didn't get to round two, but there's another series that closed out. The Clippers and the Mavericks. Luka Doncic is phenomenal, man. Luka Doncic is a top 5 player in the league. He has to be. If not, he's top 6, 7 when KD and Steph come back. But other than that, that dude is amazing. And for what he did on a bum ankle with no Kristaps Porzingis against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George has to be a testament. But I think what really impressed me in that last game, in that game 6 or game 7, whichever one it was just how Kawhi Leonard was so much in control of that game. Luka's great, but Luka's great, but Kawhi's on another level, and you see it just Luka moves slow and methodical, but Kawhi moves even slower and methodical in the sense of Kawhi gets to his spots every single time in clutch. Fadeaway midi, floater in the paint, hezzy pull up at the top of the key. Post up, fadeaway shot. It doesn't matter. Kawhi gets what he wants. I'll start with you, Schubert, this time. What did you see from the Clippers that just shows you why they're moving on and why they're going to be a threat for the championship this year?
I mean, I think it's just what you said earlier with how deep they are, and they just have so many different threats. It's just, if Kawhi's not out there doing it, maybe Paul George has his game. I feel like he's kind of the X factor. We talk a lot about Chris Middleton with the Bucks, like Paul George, he's obviously better than Chris Middleton, but if he doesn't play to the standards of like a 1, then he's just kind of a liability.
He is. And the thing with the Clippers is they have Lou Will to kind of hide some of those problems.
Which is what's helpful for the Clippers. On the Magic, or not Magic, but for Luka Doncic and the Mavericks, it was kind of like, one of the big things of 2020 was watching The Last Dance, and I saw a lot of the first half of The Last Dance in this, where they're coming out to get you. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna take the brunt.
You gotta hit the weights.
you got to hit the weights. You gotta get used to that.
This was like Jordan versus the Celtics, like pre-Pippen.
The Celtics, the Pistons. This is he's taking his licks now. And it'll only make him better. So I think this was an important playoffs for him, and for them to have the success that they had was only good for his career moving forward, and also for helping the Mavericks become a hot spot for the NBA. And plus their stuff that they've done off the court. I think they've really kind of made a statement to the players in the league that we're open for business. Yeah. Come join the Mavs. We want to become
player friendly. Yep. We support your movements. We're player friendly. And we have one of the best young players in the league. along with Kristaps Porzingis, whatever happens with him, come join us. We'll win a championship. Justin, what did you see from the Clippers and then as well as Dallas? Let's get your takes on both sides.
Yeah, Dallas, they have a superstar in Luka. Like that guy,
it's
like,
nuts. It's nuts how good he is.
Yeah, the biggest thing was how would he play in the playoffs. We have to wait till how he looked, and he just blew everyone's mind away. And I really think the advancement of the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, he's big time. I think he was a huge reason why they made it through that round. He had a lot of big games. They wasn't as loud as Luka, but they were very efficient. He had some 30-point games. I think Game 6 he had 34.
And the crazy thing is he had silent 30 games. Like he had so many 30-point games in that series. It was like it was silent, but it was deadly.
Right. But I just think that the Mavs have a lot to look forward to. I think if they have Porzingis, that series is a little bit different because he was basically dependent on 3-point shooting.
Yep, he was.
Yeah.
Held them. Let's be honest. They didn't make a lot of shots. That after that big game he had, they were kind of
shaky.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't depend on Seth Curry,
they
Tim Hardaway. Like, he had nobody to depend on. And it was just like
– game he had 40, like, when he hit that game-winning shot, those guys, Trey Burke and Seth Curry, they were huge.
Yeah. And they did everything they could.
Yeah. And then, exactly, they did everything that they could. You expect them to play that type of game, So, I just think, next year with Porzingis coming back, I think – they have a lot to look forward to. They have a building piece in Luka, and the Clippers. They just have to hope that Paul George they have a good team, but Paul George.
They need playoff Pete up to make an appearance.
They need Paul George.
They do, and we'll get to that when we talk about the next rounds and everything. All right, the Lakers beat the Trailblazers, but that wasn't surprising. There was nothing. Once Dame got hurt, it was over with.
It was an exciting start to the series, at least, and I feel like Portland really gave us a lot of excitement through the bubble. And the one thing I will say, because I'm such a hater of him, Carmelo did end up showing that he still had some game. And,
he did. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, Carmelo did his thing. He definitely did his thing. Let's get to round 2. Justin, what have I been saying for months? What's one take about round 2 that I've been saying for months? Let me hear it.
You've been saying that Miami is a team to look forward to. They're dark horse.
And what they're busting the Bucks ass. Giannis Antetokounmpo MVP. Who? You can't guard Jimmy Butler in the final minutes. You shouldn't be Defensive Player of the Year, partner. And then Chris Middleton. You're going to be the reason why Giannis leaves Milwaukee. I'm going to just call a spade a spade. You are the reason, Chris Middleton.
Honestly,
right?
I don't think it's on Giannis. I really don't think. I think like that's the game. He's not a shooter. He's not the guy to go one-on-one. It's not the regular season. It's not so much space. They're packing and they're building a wall.
He needs a Kobe Bryant. He does.
I think it's more on Chris Middleton. If he's putting up 25, I think the game is a little bit different. But he's not making those big plays that they need him to make.
They need a Kobe Bryant for Giannis's Shaq, because if you look at, and I saw a shout out to Maples on Twitter. Maples said this, and it stuck with me. If you look at Giannis as a Shaq-like figure, someone who's dominant but can't close, can't shoot, he has to play the paint. He needs someone to go out there and be his closer, be his Kobe Bryant, get the ball to him in his spots, but as well as close the game out and make the tough shots that he can't make. And Chris Middleton isn't doing that. If Giannis got with Devin Booker, if Giannis got with a Luka, if Giannis got with a Donovan Mitchell, watch out. That would be deadly.
Right. The one thing I will say that's a little bit of a pushback is that Middleton's getting the numbers. So, numbers-wise, he had 28 in the first game, 23 in the second game. He had 8 assists in the game tonight.
But it's
a lot of it is just not happening. And that's what I was going to say. It's just not happening in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
so,
he's not coming at the right time.
Yeah,
it's not coming at the right time. But that's where I agree with Justin. Where, oh shoot, here we go. Giannis is. Giannis is the one that you really have to give the knock to. I mean, game one was pretty atrocious play on his part. You know, he gets into foul trouble,
Missed a lot of free throws,
6 turnovers, turnovers, missing free throws, just making too many mistakes.
Not guarding Jimmy Butler in crunch time when Jimmy Butler's on fire.
To get all the defensive accolades that he's getting, I didn't really see it a lot in this series so far. I feel like his players are coming to play for him in a lot of ways. Like I feel like George Hill's playing a solid role for him. You know, Brook Lopez is doing his best to make the big shots, especially from 3. It seems like he's the best 3-point shooter on the team right now.
Yeah.
But the thing I think is a bigger story than the way the Bucks are playing, because I feel like for an Eastern team, and if they were playing Toronto, maybe they might be winning those games. But I just feel like on the other end, the Heat are really performing. Jimmy Butler dropping 40 in the first game.
And then the thing is with the Heat, Jimmy dropped 40 when they need him, but to me, I think the X factor, like with Paul George with the Clippers, the X factor with the Heat is Goran Dragic. Dragic drops 23 in the second game, and then in the first game drops 20-something. It drops game 1, I think he drops 27. Like, let's not act like the Dragon didn't play under Steve Nash and wasn't a star for years. He just was injured and just didn't get the light shined on him. With having Dragic there for when Jimmy's not hot, he's the perfect guy to fill up numbers. And then when you have Bam Adebayo as your third option, Tyler Hero as your fourth, and then Duncan Robinson as your fifth, and then Kendrick Nunn coming in times knocking down shots, Kelly Olynyk coming in knocking down shots, and then
Jay Crowder is a threat from 3.
Having Jay Crowder as a threat from 3 and Jay Crowder's defense, and then you top that off with Andre Iguodala's championship experience with Eric Spoelstra's coaching. This team is deep, man. This team is good. This team is really, really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I'm watching who's out on the floor, and I feel like the Heat just always have the better 5. Like maybe, Antetokounmpo has the edge on some players, but, I feel like whenever the Heat are bringing in different players, because, you said it, like, the guys that they're coming off the bench, Olynyk, Iguodala, Tyler Hero, even Jones Jr. and Nunn coming off, like I feel pretty confident in what they're going to put up against like a DiVincenzo or something like that. So, I feel like what the Heat have is just a very solid team and almost Clippers-esque, just a little bit young. Yeah. Like I feel like they have the depth that the Clippers have, but it's just unproven. And, we said it at the beginning of the playoffs and the bubble that this was the opportunity for the Heat to do what the Celtics did in years past and to, make a statement to the league of we're here now, pay attention to us. And now they've done it in these first 2 games.
They are
whether
a
or not
free
how you
agent
feel about
destination.
the end of that second game.
No, that's true. And look, Joel Embiid is taking notice. Imagine if Joel Embiid goes to the Heat. The Heat is proving that it's a free agent destination.
Or Simmons.
I don't want Simmons.
Wow. The thing is either one of them already with their connection with Butler, like it just depends on like how Jimmy Butler would take that. He's already played with them before.
It's Ben Simmons that Jimmy Butler doesn't like. It's Joel.
Well,
he likes Joel. So it's going to be interesting to see. Pat Riley has that team never tanked, and it's a testament to that organization of how they rebuilt after LeBron James and D Wade to never tank and to always try to be competitive and to go from a team full of 6 men to now a solid team with depth in shooting and defense. It's incredible. Justin, what are you seeing from the Heat that's really just showing you they're a solid team?
They're fearless. You got Tyler Hero, who's a rookie. He's not scared.
Not at all.
DeSean, who it's basically his first time in the playoff. He was in the playoff last year, but first time playing. He's not scared. You got Chris Nunn. He's not scared, and they make shots. And that's what it comes down to is making shots, and they know how to do that. The whole entire team. So when you're going to make shots, I just think that they're the more talented team.
They are.
Now, at the end of the game, like I will say, because that's a lot of things. So people, of course, we did this right after the game. So tomorrow, I expect we're going to be hearing about, the referees and all that. But what I felt like happened is Goran Dragic did not foul on that Chris Middleton 3, and I felt like what happened later on with Butler was a makeup call.
Yeah, they need to, they've been calling a lot of those fouls, a lot of shooting fouls.
Yep.
He called a lot, but
I think you said it perfect. Dragic didn't foul, and it was a makeup call.
yeah.
And
But
look,
on the last call, he did touch him, but I just think like you shouldn't, let the game be determined with a whistle like that. Like that. Like,
it wasn't egregious. That's the thing. If he would have like hit his elbow or went under his foot,
like it wasn't nothing too serious.
it didn't affect his shot.
Yeah, that hurt.
If it affects the jumper, then you gotta call it. But if it doesn't, you gotta let that just play on. So, but shout out to Miami. They're about to win this series. The Bucks, y'all are in trouble. Let's go to another.
How many games?
I think the Bucks get 1. I think it goes 5. I think it goes 5. Yeah,
I think it's gonna be 6. I think I give the Bucks game 3 and game 5.
I give them game 3. That's it. And then I think the Heat about to come and ball out. But I got the Heat in 5. Schubert has them in 6. Justin, when you got him?
I had 7, man, but the way it's looking, oh man, the way it's looking, man, I'm gonna go with 6. I'll get it.
But however, the next series I think we talking about, I think it's a sweep. If it's a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. And Toronto, look, great regular season team. They have depth. They are missing a star. They do not have someone that they can go to knock down shots. It's not Kyle Lowry. It's not Fred VanVleet. And it's not Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam has been in no man's land. He has played atrociously in those first 2 games. You got to give it a testament to Marcus Smart for filling in the Gordon Hayward roles. You got to give a testament to Jason Tatum being a superstar, Jaylen Brown being his second in command, and Cardiac Kimba doing what he's supposed to, be that guy in the fourth quarter to be the clutch man. Let Jason be the high point man. Let Jaylen Brown get his shots. But you see, come fourth quarter, it's Cardiac Kimba time, and I'm going to do the shot that I did in the Big East tournament and knock down shots. You were right. Justin, what have you seen from the Celtics and Rockets? I mean, the Celtics and Raptors.
Yeah, the Raptors, they haven't been themselves. They haven't been.
No, they are themselves.
Yeah, they like the bench hasn't been.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Too explosive.
Yeah.
No, the defense, like they play hard. They're playing hard, but it's just not enough. I just think that the Celtics is just a more talented team. They got more talent on the team. When the game slows down, the Celtics are they can score easier. It seems like the Raptors are working hard for their shots, and it's not falling. So
and they're working extremely hard to get shots.
Meanwhile, you got the Celtics who can just do a pick and roll, Kimba come off and shoot, or you got Jason Tatum who can just post up and do some crazy turnaround bucket shots.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm not saying that the Raptors can't come back because they've been proven that they just play hard. So like you never know how the series may go. But
I got a gentleman's sweep, 5.
Man, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna do them like that.
What you got him 6?
I'm still going 7.
7? Oh, it's not getting 7.
You never know.
It's not
the
getting
NBA
7.
is the crazy. I mean, look at the Nuggets, but they're pretty evenly matched.
And the Nuggets have stars. The Raptors don't have stars. Kyle Lowry is looking like the
Kyle Lowry was 0 for 7 from 3.
Kyle Lowry is looking like Kyle Lowry before.
Kyle made some big plays. Big plays.
He all right. Kyle Lowry looking like the Kyle Lowry of old. Schubert, what you thinking about Celtics and Raptors?
I think the Celtics are really proving why they're the best team in the East because they can do this without Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of shows you what the true value of Gordon Hayward really is for the Celtics. Like, I think a lot of people blow him out of proportion. Like, I've never really thought that he was, the missing piece. So, forget him. It's the Tatum, Walker, and Brown show, and we're all just sitting here watching it. I think, the Celtics will get through this series in 4 or 5. The thing about the bubble is that since there is no home court advantage, there really is just
the rest period is important.
There's just nothing that's going the Raptors' way at this point. There's you're not going to get your crowd behind you, which was kind of what propelled them through last season anyway. And,
no flying to Toronto and back, having the jet lag, none of that.
I mean, that's not a lot of jet lag, man. That's going from Eastern time to Central time.
True. But I'm just saying, no constant flights from Toronto to Boston. You just all of the minutia.
No going through customs, I guess.
Yeah, none of the minutia that happens when you travel. To me, the interesting thing with the Celtics will be not this round, but if they play the Heat when they have to go past, when they have to get depth, because Brad Wanamaker and Robert Wood's not getting it done.
That's why I thought that the Raptors would be good, because I feel like the bench would give a uplift, but they haven't been there. You got you know what I mean. Man.
Powell hadn't shown up, and Ibaka's been playing well.
Ibaka has, but Gasol, Siakam, Powell,
like Marc Gasol, man, what happened to him?
Old. He's just old. He's just old.
But his game is more like finesse.
Yeah.
And he's not even finessing anymore. He's just out there. But like I said, I think the Raptors, if it's any team that could, pull it out or like make it a series, it's that team. They got the coach of the year in Nick Nurse. So
that's true. But he's playing of another coach of the year in Brad Stevens. So the coaching battle is pretty up there. And like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see if the Celtics play the Heat's depth versus the Celtic stars. And the thing is, the Heat have Jimmy Butler and Dragic to maintain. Can Brown, Tatum, and Kemba overcome the lack of depth that they have?
Yeah, that's going to be the real test for the Celtics, because I think the Celtics starting five is probably the best starting five in the East right now.
It is. It is.
And because I like Tice. I like his game. I think he's a hustle player. I think he'd be able to handle Adebayo, and I think Bam would have the edge, but I think that he'd be able to hold his own. Marcus Smart really showed up and has been contributing.
The thing is, what happens when they have to get out of that starting lineup? When they have to go to Cantor, or they have to go to Wanamaker, or they have to go to Robert Williams, or they got to go to Semi Ojeleye.
You gotta think you also have to think about this. Like if Marcus Smart doesn't make 5 threes in a row, the series is 1-1.
That's true.
So it's just a lot of things, but like you said, Miami has a lot of athletes. They just have players who can just go, and I just think that bench for the Celtics is kind of iffy.
Oh, it is, and then
the top is good though.
That's going to be the testament to how good Tatum, Brown, and Kemba are. Can they overcome the lack of depth in the next round? But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Schubert has the Celtics in 4 or 5. I have the Celtics in 5. Justin has them in 7. So, all right, let's go to the West Coast. Let's start off with the Lakers versus the Rockets. I am predicting a sweep. LeBron James and Anthony Davis about to whoop them niggas' ass. I'm cursing for this one. The Rockets don't have no heart. They have no heart. You see that play? You see that play at the end of the game? They just threw that up to Anthony Davis. Game over with. Anthony Davis is not like Steven Adams. Anthony Davis will go to the hole because LeBron James will make him go to the hole. Or LeBron James is going to go to the hole. Who's going to guard LeBron on that team? PJ Tucker or Covington? Which one? Because then who going to guard JaVale and who going to guard AD? I want to know. They can't. The Rockets cannot match up at all. I don't see the Rockets having any chance.
The pushback I'll put on you, Lyndon, is who's going to guard Harden and Westbrook.
That's true. Caruso cannot. Caruso cannot. They're going to have to put Bron a little bit on Harden. It's going to be between Bron and KCP and the other Morris brother. That's going to be the ones guarding Harden. Westbrook should eat. He should eat in this series. The question is, will he? Justin, what you think about Rockets Lakers?
LeBron and AD are about to go off.
Yeah.
That is my prediction. I think that the Rockets, they have Harden.
It's not going 7.
Shooting, but they're just they're just too small. The Lakers are big. AD's gonna be a beast down low. LeBron, he's gonna be a beast down low. And if the Lakers are hitting threes, it's gonna be even worse. But if the game gets close, I feel like the Lakers have that edge just because of because of AD and LeBron. I trust them more than Harden
and Westbrook. Yeah, for sure. Schubert, what are you seeing from Lakers Rockets?
All right, so the starting five they put out in their last game was Green, Caldwell, Pope, Davis, James, and McGee. Rockets can't stop McGee, James, Davis. They can.
Yeah.
But like I said, on the flip side, like, do the Lakers have anyone that's going to be able to stop Harden and Westbrook if they're going? Like, if Harden is able to drop like 34 and Westbrook's able to drop like 20, then, you know, LeBron and AD are going to have to drop 20, 25, and 30 themselves. But I think they can. I mean, I think it's going to be a no defense series and who can score the most. But it's just one of those things where the Lakers are sitting on 5-6 days rest.
Yeah, and that's what LeBron needs.
Yeah, the Rockets are coming off a really tough, hard-fought series that they played suspect in. So I think that the Lakers are going to take care of business pretty easily here. And, we talk about depth. I think the Lakers have a little bit of depth when it comes to at least the game against the Rockets, taking players out, who's going to be able to guard Kuzma? I mean, who's going to be able to guard Dwight Howard?
Yeah. And then I think J.R. Smith and Deion Waiters are going to play a huge factor in this next series because they're going to need their scoring because they're going to need
their defense.
That too. They're going to need defense
Waiters.
And scoring. They're going to need their threes because the Lakers are going to have to knock down shots. It's going to come down to the others for both teams. Can Eric Gordon, P.J. Tucker, Covington knock down shots? And can KCP Green and Caruso Waiters, can those guys knock down shots? Justin, what you got the series in? Give me a prediction. What game is going to?
Lakers in 6.
Schubert, give me a prediction.
4.
Yeah, I got sweep. I got the Lakers sweeping. I got a sweep. Bring out the brooms. All right, let's move to Clippers, Nuggets. Clippers are winning this. Like, the Nuggets just aren't there yet. I'll give the Nuggets 2 games just because I like how Murray and Jokic are gelling. I got the Clippers in 6. And it would really be Clippers in 5 if Paul George could make an appearance to the playoffs. But I can't rely on Paul George for my predictions. I'm going to just rely on that bad man, Kawhi Leonard. I got Clippers in 6. Justin, what you got?
Clippers in 6.
Yeah. Schubert, what you got?
2 games.
I like that. I'll agree with that. Clippers in 6. I think, I think the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets grab game 1, or game 2. I think that they make some kind of big statement early, and the Clippers are gonna be on their heels for a second, just like they were in the last series.
But then they put the clamps on.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I'm with y'all. Any other takes that y'all want to make about these playoffs before we talk a little football? Anything else you got, Justin?
No.
That's it? All right, Schubert, what do you think about Leonard Fournette going to the Bucks?
We'll see how Leonard Fournette performs. I think half of what happened with the whole Jaguars thing, Doug Marrone said it himself. They had trouble finding people to give 5- and 6-round picks for him. And the seasons that Fournette's put out before, I mean, he's had some great ones, but he's also been, not able to stay on the field.
Yep.
This is the Bucks making their push for a title right now, and I think that they definitely added another weapon. That's their thing, is they have a lot of weapons, but are they going to be able to give Brady and give Brady the time to be able to distribute to those weapons? You got
that offensive line is atrocious.
Yeah, you got a weak offensive line. You're depending a lot on a rookie, Mekhi Becton, who pretty impressive on paper, but we'll see how it comes when they actually get on the field against the Saints on the 13th.
And the defense isn't that great.
Yeah. I mean, it's questionable. So there's the thing about the Bucks is they, I don't want to get too far into it, but they have the potential to be a great team. They played in a lot of very close games last year. So, having Tom Brady's the edge, and I feel like a big issue that they had last year is they didn't have a running game that they could lean on. And, having Leonard Fournette gives you that every down back that you can, just hand the ball off to. And I think that's kind of what Brady needs and what we've seen with him have success with in the Patriots. So I think that kind of puts the whole team together. They're dangerous. I think, looking at the Saints who are in their division as well, the Saints are also dangerous. The other part of the story is Kamara, and we can talk about that in a second. But
we could just talk about that now.
Well, I mean, I just think it's going to be difficult for the Saints and the Bucks. I think that first game is going to be really telling. If the Bucks can get that first win, that goes a long way for how the season's going to turn out for, where the playoffs end up, and setting the pace for the Saints. Because I mean, not only do the Saints have to play the Bucks week 1, they got to play the Packers on Sunday Night Football week 3.
Yeah.
And then the Chargers on Monday Night Football week 4. So I mean, like they got some games that are going to be a little bit tough in the start of the season. And how are they going to be able to respond to that? And I think the Bucks have an opportunity to really get the ball rolling. And it seems like from everything we've heard about them in the off season is that they're getting ready, and they're ready to roll. So adding Leonard Fournette is just the icing on the cake for them, and it also shows that the Jags are really, really into the tank.
Yeah, the Jazz are tanking.
They also got rid of one of their top defensive players, sent him to Minnesota. So they're rebuilding.
Yeah, they're tanking for Lawrence, tanking for Trevor. We'll see how it happens for the Jazz. Yeah, Alvin Kamara and the Saints are having contract issues. Saw that coming when they gave Michael Thomas all that money. I think they'll get it done, though.
And Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I think they'll get it done, though. I don't think he's going to get Christian McCaffrey money, but I think they're going to pay him decent. But they
offered him something like $20 million. Which is, not in the realm of McCaffrey. I think it would make him like the 6th or 7th highest paid running back.
But you got to save that money for your offensive line and for Lattimore.
I completely agree. Like when I first heard this story, I was actually applauding the Saints. I was like, don't get squeezed by Alvin Kamara for money, because there are 2 guys that can do his job. Latavius Murray can take a handoff, and Ty Montgomery can take a catch. So, if Alvin Kamara is trying to squeeze you, go get you a 2nd round pick or a cornerback or something. From the Bears or whoever, or the Patriots, whoever wants to give you something. Like I'm all for that if that's the move that they want to make.
Especially since Alvin Kamara hasn't replicated his year 1 stats at being the bell cow. He is not.
Exactly.
He's not a bell. He's not a one option. He needs another person with him. And like you said, you got Ty Montgomery, you got Latavius Murray. If anything, make a trade and pick up another free agent, and let's do running back by committee, because you got to sign the best right tackle in football with what's my white guy's name? What's his I'm forgetting his name.
Ramczyk.
Yeah, you got to sign Ryan Ramczyk, and you got to sign.
And you got to re-sign Jameis possibly too.
And Lattimore. So it's like, I applaud the Saints for this. It's tough, but you got to get rid of Kamara if you got to.
I mean, it is what it is if that's what happens. If it's not, and it all works out, then that's great. But I think that's what's really important.
Todd Gurley, like we saw what happened to the Rams.
Sure, and I think the Panthers are really going to see the repercussions of their decision later down the line. But if you're the Saints, don't get don't waste. I don't want to say waste, but like don't put all your eggs in the Alvin Kamara basket, because, I mean, we've seen with running backs that they're a dime a dozen.
Yep.
And there's going to be some great ones coming in the draft next year.
I agree with that.
The one last thing about football, and, the SEC starts in about 24 days, but Georgia's big-time quarterback has opted out of the 2020 season, Jamie
Jamar
Newman.
Chase opted out.
Oh, Jamar Chase, but I mean, I feel like that was coming, and that might be writing on the wall for LSU and what the kind of offense they're trying to play.
Yeah.
And LSU also let one of their top defensive players walk and go to UAB.
Yep.
That was kind of bad for them. But with Georgia having Jamie Newman opt out, if it's because he's worried about coronavirus, then all power to him. But from the reports that I've heard is that he wanted to leave and prepare for the draft, and I hope you like the 4th or 5th round, because your Wake Forest tape ain't gonna help you. But Georgia did a really good job of getting JT Daniels, the USC quarterback transfer. He was gonna be the backup this season, now putting into the forefront. I still think that they have a chance to win the SEC with JT Daniels. So we'll see how it goes. But they got tough game week 3 against Bama. So we'll see.
Next week and the week after, we'll be getting you ready for college football and NFL. I'll be doing my homework, and Schubert will as well, and we'll be doing our previews, because doesn't the NFL start in 2 weeks?
13th. And college football starts the day that you're probably listening to this podcast, South Alabama, Southern Miss.
Hell yeah. So next week, expect some football previews while talking NBA playoffs. Schubert said this a couple months ago, but everything is jam-packed at the end at this time. We got football, basketball, all these TV shows, all these movies, everything is just dropping at once. It's insane. But that's all the time we have for this week. Justin, tell the people where they can find you out on social media.
Yeah, so my handle name is Justin Baptiste 22. I'm on all social media platforms. Also, you guys can check out my blog site, TrajanLays.com. I've been writing lately, so be on the lookout for future write-ups. Not really sure what I want to write about yet, but I'm pretty sure something will come up.
Definitely check out Trays and Lays for all his draft coverage because we do not know. Yeah, the draft's coming up, and because we didn't have any college basketball, Justin is the source.
You're right.
So,
do you guys want to say anything about the lottery? Because we weren't able to do that.
Oh yeah, well, the Timberwolves got the first pick.
Yeah.
Big for them.
No. Yeah, I mean the Warriors, they got the number 2 pick. So
they trade it.
They could get another player. Trade the pick and Draymond.
They did trade it. They did trade it.
No, they didn't.
They could.
They could.
We're saying like
definitely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Trade that pick and Draymond and get you another star.
Come on, bro. You can't trade Draymond.
Wiggins.
Wiggins is an option as well. We're going to see what they do. But, Schubert, I think we'll hold off on that till we get closer to the draft. Schubert, tell the people they can find you on social media. You
can find me on Twitter and Instagram at aschubert14. Listen to the most recent episode of Run It Back where Lyndon and myself and Ian Hawley talk about Goodfellas. We just finished up the poll for another Run It Back. We're going to be reviewing and talking about Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
So that's going to be exciting. I listened to the last episode, the 100th episode of the Bros Who Binge podcast. We got back into the movie theater. We reviewed New Mutants. Lyndon faces off against Schmidt Dua in a pitch it match. We also talk about Lovecraft Country. Yep. Next, this upcoming week, we'll be talking about Tenet. Tenet. Huge movie. We'll also be talking about one of Lyndon's favorite television shows, The Boys.
Huge episode next week.
And of course, another episode of Lovecraft Country.
And we're starting Avatar again. It's big week. Book 3. Big week for the Bros Who Binge podcast. Be sure to check out episode 101 on Monday. Be sure to follow Schubert and check out all the things he mentioned. You can follow me at BWT. If you're a fan of anime, be sure to check out the most recent episode of Anime Talk. Subscribe to the YouTube. And follow the Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think on Twitter. And if you listen to this on Spotify or Apple, subscribe there. Leave a comment, leave a like. It helps us out tremendously. It really, really does for the algorithms. That's all we ask. We're not asking for any money. Just if you can leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, that'll mean the world to us. But like I said, hit in the descriptions. Click those links to help donate for Lake Charles. The people of Lake Charles needs it, and we need to help them. Thank you to Bre for coming on the pod. Thank you again to DeSean for coming on the pod. But for Doom, for DeSean, for Bre, for Justin, for Schubert, my name is Lyndon. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next Thursday. Until then, peace.